Oh, back together again, reunited, feels so good. Doesn't sound that great, I can tell, right out of the chute. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Still scuffling to try to get the pipes back, as it were, but we are back in the Bill Howe studio, Ben. We know how, and it's great to be back. Dodd, feeling fine, you know, not anything special, not 100% by a long stretch, and but it is good to be back in here. I will be honest with both of you guys in the audience out there. I legit thought about just ambling into my office and cranking up the machine again today and just broadcasting from home. But I thought, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here and get back to the studio. Don't think I'm contagious anymore. Hacking up the last of the gunk and feel pretty good. And it's good to be back. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good, pal. And Ben Higgins, the chairman, friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Good morning.
It's good to see you again in
good
person.
To see you
it's
too.
been since a week ago Friday, I think, that we've actually been in the same room together. So welcome back. I'm sorry that your voice isn't quite 100%, but you do look like you've got some color back, and you definitely look like you have some more energy.
Yeah, a little bit. I kind of got hit again yesterday, man. I didn't feel great. Got a lot done, but didn't feel great, and got some rest, watched some football. So that was lovely. I've got major anxiety about what's happening today at my home. Today's National Spouses Day, so shout out to my spouse for just being awesome. But she put me in an odd position today. I'm in a very odd position, a position that I'm not great at. I believe Nate Bargatze has talked about it before, the comedian. We've got a worker coming to the house today at between noon and 2. And he kind of made the joke of when the guy shows up and he's like, hey, where's the electrical box? He's like, I don't know. Ask my wife. Like, I have no idea. So we got a guy coming today, some issues with our roof. There's a leak. Maybe now it's a plumbing issue up there. No one really knows. Nobody really knows.
Is there plumbing in your roof?
There's pipes.
Work? Okay.
Yeah, there's pipes.
Yeah.
And the people that fixed our HVAC may have screwed something up. They may not have. No one really knows. We've had several people take a look at it and come up and they give it it's probably this. And we're now to the point where it's like, I just want you to fix it. I don't care about the root cause. I just want it over. I don't want to see anybody else in here, up in my attic, running around. Well, she has an extremely busy day from noon to 2, like from all day long, but they're coming from noon to 2. So I need to be there to welcome them when they get there. I'm not going to be of any help. I'm going to point them in the direction of where they're going and say, the problem's up there. I'm sure my wife has texted you a synopsis of what needs to happen. But when I didn't do the initial part, like bring the initial guy out, I'm in the dark. She keeps me in the dark for a reason, because if it were up to me, I would have been rooked by the original guys for $25,000, $30,000, $40,000. So she's handled it. But now when it comes down, it's nut cutting time, right? Like they're going to go up there and fix it. I have to be the one that supervises. So I really don't know what to do.
Is it the T junction or the U valve?
Exactly. Well,
the W joint? So I'm not even sure.
It kind of happened on Friday. The guys that maybe screwed it up in the first place, they sent somebody out. But he was never been there before. They sent out a new set of eyes. He got up there. He looked. He's taking pictures. He comes down. My wife has a meeting. She goes, hey, he's going to wrap up here. Don't let him leave until he calls me. I go, okay, no problem. That's my only instruction. Yes, he must call me before he leaves. Okay, no problem. I got this. This I can handle. Comes down, hey, so here's what I'm finding is that this happened and this, and he's showing me pictures. And I'm like, yep, sure. I'm you on the phone. All right, yeah, sounds good. I go, hey, call my wife. He goes, yeah, I will. I go, okay, see you later. And he walks out the door, and I go, wait, no, I just.
Okay, all right,
yep.
Okay, okay.
No, this is probably what happened here. When I show you this picture here, Ben, of what happened on the phone, this is it. Right? So this is
okay.
Look,
all right.
This is the leak.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I think this is the leak that happened.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Thanks. Bye.
So he walks out the door, and I go, okay. He said he's going to call her. And then it hit me. She said, don't let him leave without calling me. And I, again, put my head out the door. You're going to call her, right?
You didn't follow the instructions precisely.
To the letter of the law.
The spirit of the instructions were followed.
I asked him.
You asked him to call, but you let him leave.
Yep.
And
hold on.
She hadn't been called yet.
So I realized the error of my ways, and I follow this dude. I'm barefooted out into the street as he's quickly loading up his truck to get the hell out of there on a Friday at 4:00. Buddy, hey, listen, hang on. So I call my wife on the phone, and I go, hey, you need to talk to him before he gets in his car and drives away. Yes, she goes, yes, that's what I told you. I go, hang on, all right, here he is. So I give him my phone.
Good save.
Great save.
Good save.
Hand him. I'm free and clear. And then now, allegedly, somebody's going to come out and fix this thing today at noon to 2. Now, here's my problem. What if he's like, hey, I'm going to need to replace the XY junction with this, and that'll get you guys fixed up. Am I authorized to sign off on any of this? This is the problem. These are those instances where you don't need a proxy. You really need to be there yourself. But she's slammed. She's got a bunch of work stuff to do. So I don't know what to do. I hope it goes well, but I'm riddled with anxiety.
Is she going to be able to do? Would she be able to do more than just nod and go?
Yes.
Yeah, fix it.
Correct. Yes.
She could do more.
Yeah, she's going to sign off on what needs to be done, I think, and I really can't. I don't think.
I mean, would she potentially nix like the recommendation?
Oh yeah.
Like
potentially.
The plumber could say, we want to do this and this, and she goes, no.
She just said, I've already sent them angry emails. They know they better not try me. But the thing is,
especially on National Spouses Day.
Well, exactly. But the thing is she's already like, you better not try me, but I'm not going to be there. My moron husband is going to be there, and he's very easy to take advantage of. Very. She comes home, there could be a brand new roof on our house. She has no idea.
And a swimming pool.
She walks, what did you do? I'm like, oh, I had him put on another addition to Bo's room. I thought him install a loft. Is that not what we wanted? I'm telling you, I'm an anxious mess about it. I just want the guy to come in and go, hey, bud, how you doing? Now I know exactly what I need to do. Let me get up there and get it done. It's never happened in the history of home visits. Never. It's never happened one time where a guy comes in, he's like, I know exactly what needs to be done. Here's going to be your price. It's going to be $600. I'm going to get up there, fix it. We'll get this thing cleaned up, get out of your hair. It's not going to happen. You know it. I know it. We all know it. The guy that's listening, if he's listening, he knows it's not going to happen like that.
He's laughing right now.
He's laughing right
Go to
now.
ChatGPT and type in, what are intelligent questions to ask a plumber when they come over to my house?
Correct.
Make a quick note on your phone, and then you'll fool them into thinking that you know what you're talking about, which will maybe prevent you from getting taken advantage of.
It's literally the funniest Nate Bargatze thing. I mean, he's like, you're asking me? You're asking me what needs to be done, where the junction box is? Go ask my wife. Like she runs the house. He's like, I got no idea. So that's kind of where I'm at today. Again, I know it could be looked at as weaponized incompetence. We've do that as men a lot. No, I can't. I can't change diapers. You do it so much better than me. That doesn't fly in my house, right? But this one's going to be tough. This one's going to be a tough one today, but we got to get it done. We haven't been able to turn our heat on. Now, I get it. Hang on.
All the tier ones in Connecticut.
Hang on.
North Dakota.
Hang on.
Sorry for you.
Hang on. I get it because we started the show this morning as I was scrolling the chat.
Did it drop below 70 degrees in your house?
So I'm looking at the chat this morning. People are like, check it in from Kentucky. It's -4. Check it in from Duluth. It's -30. We've got John Conniff texted me over the weekend, texted me pictures like F you to all you Encinitas dudes. It's snow as far as you can see. And I texted him back a screenshot. I go, John, it's 44 degrees in Encinitas right now. I'm freezing my ass off. Now, again, it's all perspective. 44 in Encinitas, outside, with no heat at all in your house is cold. We were chilly. The kids' rooms, you walk into Taylor's room, you could keep dead bodies in there. It's free. We had to have him sleep with both. We've turned into the bucket family. We're all sleeping in one bed. Everybody's sleeping in one bed right now while we get this thing fixed. So I get it.
Grandpa George, Grandpa Georgina.
Yeah, perspective is key. I totally understand. Yes, it's colder in South Dakota than it is here. I will completely give you that. But it's still pretty chilly when you don't have any heat and you have two little kids and everyone, you wake up, like it was butt cold when I woke up. I was in a full sweatshirt and sweatpants walking around the house.
I don't think you're going to get any sympathy because yesterday to me was the day. There are days of the year where the weather isn't great here and you're like, what are we doing? Why are we paying to live in Southern California? But yesterday was the day. I was playing golf in the morning. It was like 68.
That was nice.
It was sunny. It was beautiful.
That cold burned off.
And everywhere, I'm thinking, everywhere else in this country is just disastrously cold. And we are out here in January.
It's great. It was
on a beautiful day. And this is the day where you love being a San Diegan more than any other day. Of the year when you know everybody else is in misery.
It was
and you can do whatever you want.
It was incredible.
Go take a walk on the beach, go play a little golf, go enjoy youth sports outdoors.
Indeed.
Anything can happen on that day. And it's like, yes, this is why I'm here. This is why we pay to live here.
Yeah,
I was talking
great.
to some friends in Charlotte yesterday. They both are teachers. They don't have school today.
Yeah.
They said it's about 20. It was like 21 degrees yesterday. They're like, yeah, it's freezing.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, it's about 71. Just took the dog out for a walk.
It's got a little hot. It's got a little sweaty.
Yeah, almost had to put a sweatshirt on.
I saw a great tweet yesterday from somebody that said somewhere in the Northeast, there's a group of buddies that already know that there will be no class tomorrow, right? Class has been canceled because of the blizzard and there's just no way. And they all got together with about 100 beers and they're all holed up watching football, drinking beers all day. And those guys are about to have one of the best days of their lives and they don't even realize it. And it hit me like a ton of bricks because I went to school in Indiana and I went to school in Chicago. And there were those days where you're like, yeah, dude, nobody's we had 14 feet of snow this weekend. I don't think they're going to be able to clear it in time for classes. And everyone come to my place and let's drink beer, eat pizza, watch football. I had probably a dozen of those days in my years up there. There were none better. There were no better days than that. Just a bunch of dudes sitting around drinking beer, watching football.
I remember my senior year of high school, we had a big snowstorm coming in up in Washington, and it was like on a Tuesday night. Like we knew the weather was like every news outlet around said there's no chance of anything happening on, call it Wednesday morning. Don't even plan for it. My buddy spent the night at my house on a Tuesday night. Like, we know we don't have school tomorrow.
Yeah, we
stayed up
to school
all night goofing around, playing video games or whatever. And then we wake up. And there is not a single snowflake out. And we go, oh no.
We got to go to school.
We check the weather in the morning and they go, yeah, it's going to roll in at about 9:00. Like school started at 7. And I go, dude, let's just hold out. Let's just hold out. We just didn't go to school that day. By about 9:30, there was 6 inches of snow. The buses couldn't even run.
Yep.
So everybody just had to walk home from school. And we're just
that had already been there.
You nerds, you didn't believe.
That morning, those mornings of getting up, and I spent time in middle school and some late elementary school in Connecticut, right? Mm-hmm. And that morning of waking up, you look outside, you go, oh my God. It is dumping. And you run downstairs and your dad's got the local news on and you just sit and you wait for it to say.
Waiting for your district.
John, whatever, like Hoover Elementary School. And you're like, come on, yeah. And your parents like, all right, well, we got to go to work. You're like, see you later. I'll be here watching The Price is Right all day. You have no idea what we're talking about.
We would always get the 2-hour delays. You're like, damn it.
Yeah, 2-hour delay is murder. Murder.
Not even a bit. I never missed one day due to weather at school.
Nor should you.
Here in San Diego.
Nor should you, man. But all you people, all you guys listening from around the country that are snowed in and freezing, I get it. 44 is a little chilly in my home. It was cold in my house. There's no, it feels just empty, right? When there's not one bit of heat going. So we've had to keep that off. hopefully we get this thing fixed today. But other than that, you guys had both guys went down to the Randy Jones Memorial. How did that go?
Another beautiful day on Saturday, and tons of tier ones out there that said hello. It was really nice. It was really nice.
You guys hung with Adam, yeah? The three of you guys?
We sat together. Some really good speakers. Bob Chandler, the great Teddy Leitner got to talk about Randy Jones. He's always amazing. And I thought Jesse Agler really handled his role of master of ceremonies very well.
How did Flan sound?
He was awesome.
Awesome.
Bring tears to your eyes?
He got introduced, I think, a little prematurely. Like, he wasn't totally ready to come out when Jesse announced his name. He was like just coming out of the dugout. He had to walk across the whole field. He's lugging his guitar. He's got his harmonica around his neck. But when he finally got up there, man, he sounded good. Sang the song "Every Hello Is Goodbye."
It's unbelievable.
He was great. Ted Leitner, though, I think stole the show, I guess is the phrase. I mean, he was unbelievable. The stories that he had were so good about Randy, and I just had the tears welling up pretty much the whole day.
Yeah.
Every time they showed videos, you see like videos of young Randy. You saw how sharp and how fast he was with an insult or a joke later in his life. To see the videos of him in his younger days, and you're just like, oh man, he was so much fun.
We had the guest list, Coach spoke, Bob Chandler, as you mentioned. It was great. Some Yokel said, well, Bo better have had a triple-double since you missed the event. And the funniest part about all of it is, we went to two youth basketball games, and Bo's was actually the first game. Now, the Woods family scoring record was 10 points, set by my youngest, Taylor. He had 10 points the week before. That has driven and motivated Bo he's not going to get outscored by his younger brother. So Bo goes out and throws up 12 points and had the game of his life. So much fun. A lot of steals. Probably he damn near might have had a triple-double with points, rebounds, and steals. Maybe. He got close on
Miles Burden out there.
Yeah, Miles Burden had a great, and they won their first game ever. Bo's team, they had played for a season and a half. That's their first win they've ever had. So he willed them to victory. Yes, I got to be there for that. Taylor decided he was going to suck down a VG's donut right before his game.
Oh.
So he was moving like he was in quicksand. So he was like barely couldn't raise his hands on defense. He got a bucket, had a steal, but it was an uncharacteristically.
Did you get to have a talk with him afterwards about, hey, maybe donuts are after we play our game?
I did. I told him, but he's 5. He's like, if a donut gets shoved in my face, I'm eating it, just so you know. So then what I decided that day, too, is I've just drafted my team. So I put together a little practice. I know it's last minute. Anybody that can make it, please make it. Had 5 kids show up. Was awesome. Had a great little practice just to get to know you of a couple of them. And it was a lot of fun. And then I took Bo for ice cream. And we were looking at some of the pictures of the event. And I was telling him about Randy. And I told him the things that Randy used to say to me when I would pitch at fantasy camp, and how he would call me like a P word and tell me that, you think you ever going to throw a strike, stuff like that. Bo was cackling so loud. And I said, that's the way that baseball is. He did that to me because he loved me. He said those things to me because he loved me. No. He wasn't making fun of me. He wasn't trying to hurt me. He wanted me to.
Meant you were in his little circle.
And it also, you know what it also did? He was lightening the mood. He was lightening the mood. That's what he did best. And that's what old school baseball players like that, that's the best thing about him. What do you think, you ever going to throw a strike today? Right? That's different than you need to buckle down and throw strikes. Like, I can take that kind of criticism. And Bo, it like clicked in his head. He goes, oh, I goes, yeah. So when I'm breaking your balls, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm telling you that I love you, and it's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. Let's have fun with it. And it like, you could see the light bulb go off in his head. We were sitting there having our ice cream after practice. I go, I'm going to bust your balls for the rest of your life, And I said, I learned that from Hoffy and Randy and Greg Vaughn and all those guys out there. Those are big leaguers. They do that in the big leagues, dude. And he's like, oh, okay, I get it now. And he's like, he's not going to take it so personally. I'm like, hey, you want to mix in a strike? You may want to get that glove down on that ground ball, or, whatever. Like, it's not meant to hurt. It's meant to praise almost. So it was really cool.
What really stuck with me, because I had heard pretty much every single one of those Randy stories before, and it was great to hear them again. And, Teddy was great, but Randy's two son-in-laws got up and spoke.
Awesome.
And I had never met either of them. His two daughters and their husbands were up there.
Oh, I'm sure he busted their balls plenty.
Exactly.
Plenty. Can you imagine?
They talked about it, like, on the golf course. And just like, can you imagine how both amazing and difficult it would be to have Randy Jones as your father-in-law, given, his personality and
busting your chops.
How relentless he was. But you could tell the love that was there from those two gentlemen for their father-in-law.
Yeah.
And talking about the love in that family, I got to say hi to Marie and give her a hug and see the daughters and the grandchildren. One of them was her 13th birthday there today. And just seeing that family love and 55 years of marriage, and what a great dad, husband, grandpa that Randy Jones was. The Randy Jones we didn't really get to see out of the pub. We saw Randy Jones in the public, how great he was with Padres fans, how great he was with players, teammates, broadcasters, media, everything. But we didn't really get to see Randy Jones, the family man, that closely.
Well, I think
to hear those stories, that's the time that I actually got emotional sitting there, was hearing the sons-in-law speak.
It was important. Every single person that spoke turned to Marie and the daughters, the whole family, and just said, they always, like, every single speaker ended with, thank you for sharing him with us.
For sure.
For all this time, because he, how many guys they play a long, MLB career, and then it's family time after that. Like, they don't not always do they stick around the franchise and do every community event, their own pitching lessons.
I saw some old school guys like Andrew Kashner showed up.
Tyson Ross was there.
Ross. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And you're like, oh yeah, pitchers. They probably had a deep relationship.
Big time.
With Randy Jones. But
I bet Randy and Kashner were tight.
Oh, yeah.
Hunting, fishing, baseball, pitching. I mean, come on, dude. I was obviously I hated to miss it. I loved what I got to see.
Has any former player of a team loved their team as much as Randy loved the Padres?
For real.
Think of the greatest Yankees, Royal, whatever. You name the team. Their number one alumni, their ambassador to the team. Did they love their team as much as Randy loved the Padres? I don't know.
Great question. And probably not is the answer. But I'm so glad you guys got to go. Thanks for going in my stead. I loved everything I saw online. And yeah, like I said, we were sitting having ice cream, watching some of it. And it was a good moment. It was a cool moment I had with my son because of the person that Randy was.
Of all the stories and all the statistics, just to tell Bo, the year 25 complete games. And when Ted Leitner was up there talking about that year, and he goes, you know who led the major leagues in complete games last year? It was Nick Lodolo. He had two. Yeah. They had 13 total last year.
It's crazy. 25 in a season is bananas. I mean, it's, the difference in the game then and now, it's stark. There's no question. But, well, we love you, Randy. And sorry I couldn't be there, but I know you would have been very proud of me that day, because you always were, and you were always a good friend. And yeah, man, like, it was an honor to be to have my chops busted by you every single time.
And then as Paulie and I were walking out, I had a very interesting conversation with a current player on the San Diego Padres. We'll share some of the details of that.
Juicy.
And set the menu for what's coming up, including right away, we'll talk about the Darvish story, not a story, what went on over the weekend, the reporting from Kevin Acee, the response from Darvish and his agent. We'll get to all of that coming up. It is Monday morning. If you're snowed in and you're listening to us, thank you for joining us. If you're here in San Diego, let's make it a good week. Ben Woods and Paul on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Let's get our first check of traffic this morning with Kelly Danick.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
So following the Randy Jones celebration of life on Saturday, Paulie and I were walking out off the field at Petco Park, and all of a sudden kind of got a tap on the shoulder. Wasn't expecting it. Turned around, And standing there was Joe Musgrove and his fiancee, Erica.
Excellent.
As we were walking back into the tunnel. So got to chat with Joe for a little while as we all walked out to our cars and got to ask him a few questions about how he is feeling. And Joe says he is absolutely ready to go for the start of spring training.
You started interviewing him immediately?
Well, I mean,
kind of.
I think Paulie actually asked that question.
Well,
Got the journalistic question from Paul Reindl.
He asked us if we were going to be heading out there in a few weeks.
Spring training,
we'll be out there in about a month. Yeah, he said, you guys heading out to Peoria? I said, yeah, I'll be out there in about a month. He said, awesome. I said, you got to be just rearing to go.
Chomping at the bit.
He's like, yeah, dude, I cannot wait to get back out there. He's like, it's one thing to say it all off season. Like everyone's asking me. Every single person comes up and what's the question? It's, hey, how you feeling?
How you feeling?
Like,
you ready to go?
Yeah. I was like, in my head, I go, yeah, as soon as I said it, I was like, moron. Everybody asks him that question. And he just goes, to be able to actually get back out on the mound and do it is going to be so, he's just can't wait.
Yeah,
Looking
good.
forward to it.
Talked a little bit about his mom, Diane, how she was here for the extravaganza. How much we appreciated that she comes in, and he said, "Oh, yeah, she loves doing it, and we love having her." So that's a great relationship. And then Joe actually went with Jackson Merrill yesterday to the opening of the new Miracle League field. The Padres funded like $300,000 in refurbishments to the field up in North County, and had a few more comments. Here's a quote from the UT. He said, over the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I've really started to hit a stride, and we're feeling physically really good now with more consistent recovery. Training was a little more based around getting the body ready, getting the body tuned up, ready to take on a full season. But he's throwing now all of his pitches off the mound, and he thinks he's pretty much full go. He does admit that the Padres will probably keep a closer eye on him at the start of the season in terms of pitch counts and innings, but the idea is, as they get going, there's no limitations or restrictions on what Joe Musgrove can do. If he can throw 180 innings, then they're going to let him throw 180 innings by the end of the season, be a full member of that rotation, and hopefully back to the guy who in 2021 and 2022 was a top 15 starting pitcher in all of Major League Baseball those couple of seasons. If the Padres get anything close to that Joe Musgrove and get Michael King back healthy with, as good as he can be, they could have a really formidable top of their rotation with Nick Pivetta as well.
No question. And I talked to Ben Fritz when we were out at fantasy camp. Fritz, he said, I don't know of another pitcher that's more in tune with his body than Joe Musgrove. He's constantly working to improve. So always, as a fan, that's what you appreciate very much. You guys know the eye wash is very important to me. And not that it's eye wash. He's actually rehabbing from an injury, but I love how committed he is to getting back on the mound. And again, trying to go out and help this team win. Always appreciate that about Joe.
Here's what we got coming up on the program today. We will talk more Padres coming up here momentarily. The news, or is it not news, about you, Darvish, that came out over the weekend. We have a Super Bowl matchup. We will get into that in our 7 o'clock hour a little bit. The New England Patriots taking on the Seattle Seahawks in 2 weeks in Santa Clara at Levi's Stadium. And hey, there are Patriots fans. There are 6-year-old Patriots fans who have never seen their team in a Super Bowl before. So
yeah, this is
good
huge
that they've
for them.
finally gotten back after the long, dark period of Patriots football. They have returned to the national stage.
I'll say this, though. They're back a lot sooner than I thought they would be.
Me too.
Yes.
They won 4 games last year.
I know.
Yeah.
They're back a lot
Insane
sooner.
turnaround.
Yeah, insane turnaround. Mike Grable, great work.
Benny and I were looking last week during a commercial break when you were out. We went back and looked. Every single AFC Championship game since I think 2010 has had either the Patriots or the Chiefs in it.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah.
In the last 15 years.
It's insane. So they're that game yesterday, we'll talk about the football that we watched. Again, being ill really allows you to watch a lot more football than you normally would be able to watch. Second game was fantastic. I mean, one of those two teams together, you wish they could play every week. My God.
Three unbelievable games. Like, what was the point separation in all 3 games? It was like 5 or 6 points, like determined all 3 games.
It was unbelievable. And so you look at the matchup and you go, oh yeah, I'm ready for this. It's going to be a good one. We all have our ideas on who's going to win and how, but we'll have 2 weeks to speculate about that. Super Bowl
60.
What is that?
LX.
LX. Okay. All right. I like it.
We have 2 weeks to speculate about how badly Seattle's going to destroy New
Yes,
England in this
that's exactly
game.
right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
To start kind of changing our mind and go, well, maybe if this happens, then New England can keep it close. What's the original point spread? I haven't
I think
even.
it was like 3.5.
That's
4.5.
That for
Lock it
that's
in.
it? Are you kidding me? Seattle's only 3.5 point favorites? Are you kidding me?
Lock it in, man.
Yeah, I've got Seattle right now.
So
Let's see here. Now it's down up to 5.
Already, yeah, up to 5. Okay. It's going to keep going up.
there's a quote by the great Marcus Aurelius, Ben, that says,
Going back to Roman times.
yeah, back to Roman times. It says, you don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you. And I think that's a good message for some of the Padre fans I saw over the weekend about this Darvish situation. It is a complicated situation for Darvish, and it was made, I think, more complicated over the weekend. Are we going to talk about that right here?
We are.
I think we should.
All right, we'll do so right after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Getting reports of a 2-vehicle accident on the College Avenue on-ramp to eastbound 8th there over to the right shoulder, and a collision on westbound 905 at Britannia. That's over to the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Let me just quickly throw in, Craig Elston will join us at 7:35 on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline. We'll talk some Padres baseball and more with Craig. All guests, I'm Ben and Woods. Here on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline, David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. We'll have all our regular features. Don't do this. Take on Woods, our Roundel Report, plus biggest fan contest at 9 o'clock, and we'll talk some Aztecs, their win over UNLV, likely in our 8 o'clock hour. But, yeah, let's get into the reporting over the weekend about Darvish's future from Kevin Acee in the Union Tribune, saying that, according to his sources, you had informed the Padres that it was going to be his intention, not that he had announced his retirement yet, that it was his intention to walk away from the remaining 3 years on his deal with the San Diego Padres and a majority of the $43 million that he was still owed by the team, rather than continue his baseball career. It was then fairly quickly rebutted in a tweet, a couple of tweets from Darvish himself, that, well, you're jumping the gun a little bit. He said, you may have seen an article, and although I am leaning toward voiding the contract, there's still a lot that needs to be talked over with the Padres, so the finer details are yet to be decided. Also, I will not be announcing my retirement yet. Right now, I'm fully focused on my rehab for my elbow. If I get to a point where I can throw again, I will start to scratch again to compete. If I once get to that point where I feel I can't do that, I will announce my retirement. That was the first of a couple of tweets that Darvish sent.
So he's already had surgery, and he is in the recovery mode right now. So, again, people saw the original tweet from Kevin Acee about his article, and immediately their eyes went to dollar signs. It went to, let's say they buy him out for $15 million. That's $30 million we get that we can go out and spend on Framber Valdez. And so,
which Kevin Acee did report in the story that any savings would be put toward potential, salary for new players coming in.
So I do wonder, my hope for all of this is that Darvish, who has given so much to the game, so much to our city and team, doesn't feel pressure from the front office or the fans to walk away, because again, when you get injured on the job, pitching on the job, and you still have 3 years at $43 million remaining on your contract, that's your money. That's the contract they gave you. You signed it. That is your money. You are entitled to every single red cent that they give you. It's their idea. They gave you this contract. You signed it. They're on the hook for it. Now, being the person that Darvish is, if he looks into the future and says, I don't know that I want to do this, man. Like, starting from scratch, that doesn't sound fun at 40 years old. It's not great. It's not what I want to do. I've got a son that's pitching now. I want to be with him. I want to be around. I could consider probably walking away. I'm not mad at Kevin Acee for running this piece because, again, that's the info that he I'm assuming, God, I don't think he conjured this out of thin air.
Well, no, you admitted. He said, I've been in a second tweet. He said, I've been discussing with the Padres since last year about terminating the contract. So absolutely, he has informed the Padres that is likely his intention. Now, could he change his mind?
Sure.
He has not officially retired yet. He could, but every indication that we've got from you, when I talked to him over the holidays at Children's Hospital, every indication is that you is leaning toward hanging it up and probably not going to ask to get all that money. There's going to be some sort of buyout. So, ultimately, this story, while maybe premature in the mind of Yu Darvish, is ultimately going to be correct. I think Yu Darvish is going to retire at some point. I don't know when that is. And when he does, knowing Yu Darvish, he's going to walk away from a certain amount of that money. Again, he doesn't have to, but I think that is where this is all heading at the end of the day.
Didn't it at least surprise you, though, when you saw, because Darvish put out his statement 30, 40 minutes later. But in those 30 to 40 minutes, weren't you at least surprised? Because traditionally, if you step away from the team, you're stepping away from team care, team doctors, team insurance. We all said months ago when we talked about this after he got hurt and kind of forecasting the future, we all said it would be dumb not to at least come back for 1 year while rehabbing and getting all that care. So I guess I would have to assume that that's got to be part of a buyout. Hey, even if you're not under contract, you're still going to be you're going to be entitled to team care and the facilities or something.
You can negotiate absolutely anything at this point. And again, you and his agent have all the leverage. If they wanted to, they could, again, fulfill the terms of the contract for 3 more years, do what they need to do in terms of rehabbing, going back to the minor leagues, pitching rehab starts and assignments, and he would be entitled to all that money. Does not seem like that really is what you wants to do unless, miraculously his arm feels like it's 24 years old again, and then he might want to pitch. And if, by the way, if you're a Padres fan and you feels like his arm has turned back the clock 15 years, you want him to keep pitching because Yu Darvish is a phenomenal pitcher if his arm is healthy. But if his arm's not healthy and he wants to walk away, then, he's going to walk away and he's not going to hold up the Padres and say, but you need to give me every last red cent of that deal. That's who Yu Darvish is.
And, like I said, it spirals out of control online. You see how things can absolutely turn into a tornado when everyone is going, okay, if he walks away now, that's going to free up X and we can go get X. And it's tough. It's tough. It's a tough position that he was put in to have to come out with that statement. Honestly, tough position for AC to have to come back and add that context to his article, which he had to do. Your opinion, your professional opinion, been doing this a long time. Was it just a jump the gun, got some information and jump the gun? Or was it no, this is the information I was given and I'm going to run with it?
Well, he didn't report that you had announced his retirement.
Right.
He reported what his intentions are going to be. He reported that there have been discussions and he has informed the Padres that that's what he intends to do. From my view, that does seem accurate. Was it an uncomfortable time for that to come out? Obviously, for Yu Darvish and his agent, maybe. And, that's between Kevin Acee and Yu Darvish. But Kevin Acee's not under any obligation to run a story by the Padres or by Yu Darvish before he runs it. If he feels like the information is accurate, then we'll find out if it is or not. He's certainly within his right to run that for Padres fans. But I think, ultimately, the Padres don't have to wait for Yu Darvish to go, okay, it's official. I'm giving back X amount of money, and now we can go out and spend it. If they feel like it's trending in this direction, they can probably say, at some point, we're going to get this money back from Yu Darvish. If we needed to allocate it somewhere else,
correct,
we can do so now.
Do it now.
You don't have. It's not like you have to wait until that money comes back into your checking account before you can then spend it on someone else.
Has anybody in this room ever said, oh, I don't really have the money to cover this, but I am getting this bonus in 3 weeks. I can go ahead and buy this now on my credit card and pay that off when I get that bonus. Sure. Ray says, let AC off the hook. I'm not letting AC off the hook. I think AC published a piece. Then he had to go back and and add more context to it. I think right then and there, that doesn't let that reporter off the hook. So it doesn't. You don't have to be mad at this. You really don't, because again, I don't think it's any new information. And when Darvish himself says in his tweet, although I am leaning towards voiding the contract, that's from his Twitter account. That right there tells me, okay, that's good information that you have. You may have jumped the gun for Yu's personal timeline, but when he says himself, I'm leaning towards voiding this contract, again, the reactions about Yu Darvish and all the stuff that's come out, people wanting him to just walk away. I don't really understand it. I don't, because again, none of us would put in that position as well that had that opportunity or that option, could say with any certainty that we'd say, yeah, I'm just going to leave this on the table. I really am. So it's a delicate situation, certainly, but ultimately it's Yu Darvish's decision, what he wants to do with his body and the time he wants to put in on it. That's the whole bottom line. The contract really is immaterial. They gave him that contract. He signed it. That's his money. So what he wants to do with his money, he's entitled to do, I think.
And I saw some speculation. Well, are the Padres trying to pressure Yu Darvish into that decision? They don't need to. He can wait as long as he wants to make that decision from the Padres timeline. Whatever that Yu walks away from is whatever he walks away from. That's totally up to Yu Darvish. Doing it now versus in a week or a month doesn't change their long-term plan. AJ Preller already has an idea of what that's going to look like in the future.
He's not holding them hostage right now, saying, I may retire, I may not. Don't go out and spend any money because you may get some back, but you also may not. I don't get that sense. Dom actually nails it here. He said Clark Didwall did exactly that, to put in a pool for his family, and instead he got enrolled in the Jelly of the Month Club. He actually put it. He what do they call that? He hedged.
The gift that keeps on giving.
He hedged, right? He hedged. He's like, I'm getting a bonus, so I'm going to put this pool in. Actually, he didn't get the bonus.
We did because of Cousin Eddie.
Right? But originally,
fix that with his boss.
Originally, so I don't know, man. We as Padre fans are anxious and excited and hopeful that there's another starting pitcher added. That money could certainly help you, but
the Padres aren't anxious. The Padres, right, I promise you that they're not sitting there going, when is he going to make his decision?
Right.
When is he going to make his decision? So we know. No.
And
they already have forecasted exactly probably what they're going to offer and the settlement and how it's going to play out.
If you need another guy to quit so that you can hire another guy, you got bigger problems. Right. You have much bigger problems. I need him gone so we can make a signing. You're screwed anyway. If that's
you're
the
already
case.
On the hook for that money.
Yeah, you're already on the hook for that money.
You cannot operate until something finally changes. Like for sure, you can't just go ahead and start making plans.
Right. So
I don't know. It just honestly, it made me sad.
Yeah, it made me sad.
Realizing
you read the comments, people, he needs to walk away. You got to retire. It just bums me out because I love Yu Darvish. We all love Yu Darvish. Most of us do.
If in fact he's thrown his last pitch, that really bums me out.
Yeah, it really bums me
because he's one of the most significant pitchers of this generation. We were debating, like, is he going to be in the Hall of Fame? I think he absolutely should be for the impact that he's had on an entire country, a generation of young baseball players coming up. That's who their guy was. It was Yu Darvish. And he's just a wonderful human being. And the fact that I
hate that he's in this
got
position.
to be here though, for as long as he was here. It's been great.
Yeah, it's a bummer that he's in this position, certainly. And again, this thing will work itself out one way or the other. But again, per his own words, he may have thrown his last pitch with the San Diego Padres. Now, anything can happen. We just saw 44-year-old Phillip Rivers come out of retirement and play quarterback in the NFL for a few games. So you never know what his decision will be from one day to the next, but it's his decision. It's his decision to make.
On his timeline.
On his timeline.
Yes.
Yep.
But it's also, Kevin Acey's job when he hears news
to report it.
To report that news. And I don't think the news is necessarily wrong about what is going to happen here with Yu Darvish. We will continue to follow that story as we move forward. But when we come back, It's the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. Some interesting decisions, a couple of interesting games yesterday. We'll talk about it next on The Fan. I bet if I went back to the preseason NFL prognostications and you went through every expert's pick for the Super Bowl matchup, you won't find a single Patriots versus Seahawks matchup among them.
I'd say that's fair.
One of the more surprising developments was the bounce back of the Patriots after 4 wins with first-year head coach Mike Vrabel. And in just his second year, Mike Macdonald. When they hired Mike Macdonald in Seattle, I think we all went, who's Mike Macdonald?
Correct.
And in just his second season, with Sam Darnold at quarterback, no less, has brought Seattle back to the Super Bowl, where they will be favorites in Santa Clara in less than 2 weeks against Drake May, second-year quarterback of the New England Patriots. And yesterday had both the NFC, AFC championship games. First game was, of course, marked by the bad weather in the second half, especially in Denver, as the cold and snow set in. But even before the game got, impacted by the snow, neither of those teams was moving the ball very effectively against the other one. It was a defensive struggle. It was always going to be a defensive struggle, and the weather just exacerbated that in the second half, making it even more difficult for Jarrett Stidham, making his first start of the year, to move the football when they just needed, 3 points somewhere, anywhere, to at least get that game to overtime, and they could not do it. Missed a couple of field goals. Both teams missed a couple of field goals in the bad conditions, and ultimately New England goes on to the 10-7 win over the Denver Broncos.
And again, you certainly love the weather. You love seeing the weather rear its ugly head in the second half.
Some people did. Some people said, should that important of a game be played somewhere where it just comes down to which team manages the horrible conditions rather than who's the better team?
I like it. I liked it. I mean, I like seeing the snow.
Cool.
I like seeing the wind whip around and the ball change directions. And I like it. It's
both teams have to play in it.
Both teams have to play in it. It feels like football to me every time I see it. That being said, look, I would be lying to you if I said that game was incredible. That was an incredible 10-7 game. I loved the defensive stands. I didn't. I wanted a little bit more action. I thought we were going to get it based on, the first quarter. You're like, okay, Jarrett Stidham's actually completed a 52-yard pass, and these guys are moving the ball, and they're going to shock the world. And they got more conservative as the day went. The backwards pass, I thought, was an interesting call. I've watched it 100 times. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know that was truly a backwards pass. I didn't think Sean Payton did a great job of managing that game for his quarterback, his inexperienced quarterback. I didn't. I think he'd probably tell you in his darkest moment, I didn't do a great job of managing that for him. And, passing up on points early doesn't make any sense to me at all.
I agree. Jordan mentioned that in the chat. It's fourth down early in the second quarter. They're up 7-0, and they've got a pretty chip-shotty field goal that can make it 10-0. How do you not see where this game is heading?
Right.
It was Rams against Seahawks, and you're thinking this could be a 31-27 game, which it was.
It was.
And the Rams had the same decision at some point to go for 3 or go for the touchdown. They went for the touchdown. It didn't work out. You weren't stopping anybody on that game. You need 7 points rather than 3. I thought for the Broncos, and I thought at the time, I'm going, you're trusting Jarrett Stidham to get the first down here rather than just take a 2-score lead at 10-0. Had they been up 10-0, that may have been insurmountable. Yes, New England ended up scoring 10 points, but I think that changes the complexion of the game entirely. I was stunned that he let Jarrett Stidham have the ball and then called a play where he had to roll out and no one was open at all. You're asking too much of a quarterback who hasn't been an integral part of your team all season long in that situation.
Yeah, and the funny thing is like there were some decent balls thrown by the quarterbacks later in the bad conditions. You can't put any of those on the receiver. My son was watching. He goes, "Oh, you got to have that." I go, "You got to have that." He's throwing it through a 50-mile-an-hour wind, through the snow. Guys draped on his back. Like, relax over there. You got to have that guy. But
I was fascinated throughout the game because I'm not a big Broncos fan, never have been, but I was trying to put myself in Broncos fan mentality. I'm like, we touched on it last week, obviously, like the high of winning and advancing to the AFC Championship, only to have that just ripped under your feet 10 minutes later when you get the Bo Nix story.
Yes.
Like all week, are you just like, hey, we're supposed to lose? Anything that happens beyond that is just gravy at this point.
Yeah, but then you're in it.
But like, what more could you have asked for? Exactly. You were in it. It was a 3-point game the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's like the question, as Moot says, they knew the weather was going to turn. You knew take advantage of better conditions in the first half when you're moving the football a little bit. Try to accumulate as many points as you can, and then then you can kind of play defense, of which you have a really, really good one and a healthy one. Against Drake May and the New England Patriots. But yeah, man, all in all, like credit to them for scoring 3 more points than the Denver Broncos, man. It was not the most, it wasn't my favorite game that I've ever watched.
It was you know what? I think the jury is still out on the New England Patriots.
That's what everyone's saying. They're like, they still haven't beaten a good, really solid team.
They beat Buffalo on the road in October.
Yep.
They beat Baltimore on the road in December. But
both teams in disarray, by the way. They fired their coaches, right?
It's just wins just over Miami and Carolina and New Orleans and Tennessee and Cleveland and Atlanta and the New York Jets. It's like, man, this just set up so well for you all season long. And then the playoffs sets up perfectly for you as well.
We talk about, I've said it many times, there aren't any real easy games in the NFL. Any given Sunday is a real thing. That being said, if you had to map out your path to the Super Bowl, it would look like this. That's exactly what it would look like. If I had my choice to map out my road to the Super Bowl against these teams at these times, it worked out perfectly for them.
An injury-riddled Chargers team traveling across the country. You beat them 16-3. A Houston Texans team with 0 quarterbacking play or offense, and you beat them at home 28-16. And then a Denver team without their quarterback in a snowstorm, and you beat them 10-7. Yeah, they've gotten the job done, but now they get to the Super Bowl against the Seattle Seahawks. A Seattle Seahawks team that statistically, when you look at things like DVOA, like team, like one of the more fearsome teams in NFL history, actually, when it comes to their numbers. This is going to be the ultimate test. If New England wins this one, then fine. They've proven everything.
Didn't that suck for you? Like, we made the Super Bowl and people still think we're not that good.
I just get the sense that this is going to be a very lopsided Super Bowl in Seattle's favor. And, this could be one of those ones that we remember growing up from, like the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, when no Super Bowl was good for like a decade plus.
Yeah.
Just blowout after blowout after blowout.
It's going to be an old 55-10 here. You just never know. But look, they made it. They did it. They, as Kevin said in the chat, they beat 3 of the top defenses this playoffs. They absolutely did. They did exactly what they needed to do to get there. They did just enough to get there each time. And they are, they're AFC champions, man. You can't take that away from them, no matter how the road was paved for them.
Second game was legit.
Amazing.
A great game between the Seahawks and the Rams. Both teams made one incredible blunder. For the Rams, it was the muffed punt in the third quarter that led to immediately to a Seattle touchdown.
You don't want your punt returner falling back flat on his back to try to catch a punt. Maybe you just let that one over your head.
Huge mistake.
I mean, but
Seattle returned the favor with the Reek Woolen taunting penalty after they had forced 4th down and 12, and looked like the game was going to be there. Up double digits, getting the ball back. It's probably over, and that led immediately to a Rams touchdown. They gave them every chance to win that game. So both teams made the one huge mistake. Both quarterbacks were outstanding. Matthew Stafford, 374 yards and 3 touchdowns. Sam Darnold, 346 yards and 3 touchdowns. Both lead receivers were terrific. Puka Nacua, 9 catches, 165 yards and a touchdown. Jackson Smith and Jigba,
he's unreal.
10 receptions, 153 yards and a touchdown. I mean,
how do you let him?
This was a great game.
How do you let him on that touchdown?
The corner and
how is he, of all people, that wide open? There's no one within 10 yards of him.
Falling down.
And he's like, look who's here.
Easy.
Jackson Smith Najigba is standing there in the end zone to make the catch. How is he uncovered?
You almost do like the look around. You're like, I'm wide open. It's like, it doesn't make sense.
So it's so incredible. He's such a great player. 10 balls, 153 yards. Just incredible superstar player that he is. And Sam Darnold, man, I tip my hat to it. I'm not a USC fan, but I honestly think it's going to be crazy, Benny. If he is the very first USC quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl, it's going to be Sam Darnold. Out of all the great QBs that have come through the University of Southern California, my arch nemesis, Sam Darnold is the one that's going to hoist the Lombardi trophy, and he's the favorite to do it right now. Somebody made the point.
It'll be a Brad Johnson-esque Super Bowl win.
Still.
But it'll still be a Super Bowl win.
Super Bowl win, man. Pretty incredible.
I think the storylines will be pretty good. I think those two teams are rematching from the infamous should have handed it off to Marshawn Lynch.
So good. We're going to see
Patriots come back to win.
We're going to see all those old highlights.
I literally wrote yesterday, I said, rooting for the Seahawks simply for the uptick in Marshawn Lynch content in the next 2 weeks. Because, everyone's going to be revisiting that. And then you have, on one side, Mike Vrabel. I mean, you want to talk about all-time GOAT status for a team. Winning a Super Bowl, winning multiple as a player. Now he's coming back. He's could be the first player to ever win a Super Bowl as a player and a coach for the same team. And then Sam Darnold, I think his story is pretty incredible. I mean,
it's incredible.
What he did in Minnesota for them to basically give him the finger and say, we're going to go with this guy as rookie instead. How'd that work out? Didn't go very well. For him to then go, okay, sounds good, and take the Seahawks to the Super Bowl is pretty awesome.
Pretty incredible.
To me, though, the NFC Championship game, the most critical moment where that game was won was actually over a month ago on December 18th, when the Rams had a 30-14 lead in the fourth quarter in Seattle. They closed that game out. The Rams end up as the 1 seed. The Rams end up hosting the NFC Championship game. And if they don't have to play, in front of the 12s in Seattle, I think they win that game at home. But so hard to win in Seattle. They blew the lead. Remember, 30-30, went to overtime. They scored the touchdown, and then they went back, and Smith and Jigba scored the touchdown. They went for 2, won at 38-37.
Insane.
That was it. That was Seattle's comeback that set them up now for this run to the Super Bowl and probably a Super Bowl title.
They haven't slowed down since that game.
That was that last fourth quarter turned the entire season around for the Seattle Seahawks right there.
And so now we wait 2 more weeks till Super Bowl 60. Going to get all of the let's be honest, it's too much. Like the pre-Super Bowl hype. If I were one of those analysts this 2 weeks I dread. Don't you? You dread this 2 weeks a lot. If you are we
got ESPN on in the studio right now, and they're doing what went wrong with the Rams. The Seahawks silencing doubters. I mean, they have to do that
2 weeks,
hours a day,
2 weeks straight about this game, and then the game arrives and it's finally here.
Now, I saw somebody mention it in the chat. I saw this morning. Ben, you started this segment, Ben, by saying something about nobody would have
picked Patriots, Seahawks.
Yes. However, did you guys see the post from the NFL that's going around today? Back on September 4th, 2025, the NFL posted a graphic. They do it every year. Every league does. They said 32 teams with February dreams were so back as the season was getting ready to kick off. And it's got the star player of each team, and they're all walking, towards the big Lombardi trophy. But when you zoom in on that picture, Drake May and Sam Darnold are the final 2 guys standing closest to the Super Bowl. That was posted back in September, and everyone goes, "Oh, they absolutely played out the script to its to its T."
It's got to be AI.
No, this is a post from September.
They posted it September 4th, 2025 at 5 a.m.
I mean, they're kind of the afterthought because they're the most blurry, furthest away.
That's true.
They're highlighting the bigger names that you can actually see, like Mahomes and Saquon Barkley's right in front, Josh Burrow, Brock Purdy. Those guys are so far away you couldn't even tell who they are.
Up there too. I think Baker's up front.
Yeah, Baker, Richardson.
But Drake May and Sam Darnold walking their way right into Levi's Stadium for the Super Bowl.
Wow, those two. That's weird.
How did you not see that and immediately put the mortgage on Seahawks Patriots?
Tell you what,
Super Bowl?
I will next year. I'll be looking for that graphic again and be like, you know what? Let's test this theory.
Let's just see what happens.
I'm not a big rigged guy. Never have been. But it's very tough to rig an entire season.
All right. And then in the NFC Championship game, or in the AFC, we're going to have a huge snowstorm in the second half in Denver. It's going to be amazing.
Hey, they're going to punt it to you. I need you to lay flat. and try to catch it.
Fall down.
I don't
try
wanna-
to catch it from your ass.
I don't want to do that. No.
Yeah,
You have
you
to
gotta
do it. And sign this and don't tell anyone.
Ugh.
I don't know. I'm not a big rigged guy. It would be very difficult to do.
It'd be impossible.
It'd be impossible to do. Let's be
Absolutely
honest.
impossible.
The evidence
unless
is right there.
Unless we're living in a simulation, which we very well may be.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen scandals, you know, in basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Individual players can tank or shave points. In boxing, obviously, a guy can go down if he's paid to go down. And you know who needs to know that? That guy and the guy who's paying him. So you can keep it secret. In football, with 53 players on both teams and giant rosters of everybody else and a oblong-shaped ball that can bounce anywhere, there's no way that you can rig an entire game or an entire
I mean,
season.
for them to
It's silly.
script that snowstorm and like the blocked field goal at just
Yeah.
the fingertip, I mean, that's hard to do.
So
to
that was
execute
that was an interesting part of the story as well. Did you see them say that because they couldn't see the yard lines on the field, that they lined up a little bit too close to the line of scrimmage? He didn't give the full like 7.5 yards, and he thinks if he had been another half yard back, that kick would have gotten over his finger,
had a
and it would have
chance.
been a made field goal instead of being tipped and deflected just outside of the upright.
Are there really people in our chat that think that it's rigged?
I don't think so. I can't imagine.
Rigged, like predetermined. Rigged is one thing. We've learned about point shaving. We've learned about, you know, quarterbacks taking dives and things like that, like the boxers taking dives. We've Pete Rose managing differently, Emmanuel Clase spiking sliders and things like that. But do we really think that it is
WWE script
predetermined? Like, hey, I don't care how we get there, but the Patriots win this game today. Or I don't care how we get there, but the Seahawks win this game today. I doubt it.
I know it's not true.
Paul says sarcasm, but Paul, not you. There are people that believe this. My grandfather was one of them. I'll be completely honest with you. My late grandfather.
That sports were rigged.
Oh yeah, football in particular. He grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He was a Cowboy fan, and then he wasn't because he said all of this is rigged. They rig it. And I go, what do you mean? I was little. I was like 10, 11. I was like, what do you mean it's rigged? He's like, it's all a big conspiracy. All right. Never really elaborated on how they would get it done.
No more.
Yeah. I would have liked to, if he was still alive, I would interview him on the air. And he would tell you how it was all one big rigged conspiracy.
He would look at that graphic and go, they literally told you back in September.
Yes.
Who was going to be in the Super Bowl.
If they were going to rig it, though, why would they give it away in the graphic? That
Fair.
would be so dumb.
It'd be so
Because
dumb.
we're all dumb enough to look at it and not think anything of it.
Man.
The signs are right there, Ben.
I guess.
Open your eyes.
All right, we're going to take a time out. When we come back, DDT on a Monday, including our friend Dabo, like Apple.
Also, greatest audio of the year so far, by far.
Possible. We will get to all of that coming up next with Ben and Woods after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. First, though, it is still January. There is still time to take advantage of the best sale of the year at sdfatloss.com. It is not too late to follow through on your New Year's resolutions to lose the weight and lose it safely and quickly, up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight, thanks to sdfatloss.com. If you start the program now, before opening day of the baseball season, you can be down like me, like 40 pounds. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. I am going on 3 years keeping that weight off. And what made the difference for me, the sdfatloss.com program is based on real foods, not shakes or bars or prepackaged meals. So I got to eat what I wanted, got to choose. They coach you on how to prepare and you know the portion sizes and everything. And if you follow through, you can lose the weight fast with no exercise, no injections, and no worry about those side effects. So just set up your free consultation by going to sdfatloss.com and get 20% off the program right now. Get your best prices of the year. They've extended their New Year's sale due to all the demand they got over the holidays. But don't wait any longer. Go today to sdfatloss.com. Lose the weight at sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Okay, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. It's time for Don't Do This, brought to you by Dixie Line Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diego homeowners and contractors fix it, build it, and enjoy it. And we will start with an off-the-rails basketball game.
Yes, we will, Benny. And look, let's all agree. We can all agree before. Parents are ruining youth sports, okay? Like, that's a common thread. And inherently, this story is very sad. Sometimes in the sad, though, you can find the funny. And that's what we've decided to do here. An absolutely chaotic scene in Kentucky during a middle school basketball game. It happened on Thursday night. And it was Emelina against Carr Creek. They're competing in the A-team championships at Knott County Central High School. But these are 8th graders. Things got ugly. 2 players tackled each other on the court, which, by the way, happens. Players get into it. Players get chippy. That's okay, in my opinion. That's going to happen from time to time. That's not uncommon in sports. Then coaches and players tried to break up the fight. Well, the chaos got more chaotic when parents raced down from the stands to try to help end said fight. Well, that only made things worse. And the best part is they've got 2 guys calling this game for whom I have no idea.
It was like a live stream for the middle school state championships or something. And
here they are calling the action, and it is everything you wanted it to be.
And they just got tackled.
James, this go get Justin.
That whistle's really helping.
But here we go.
The court is full.
Let's get out of here.
Of parents and adults on the court now.
Look here. This ball game's got to get over.
Yeah, let's go. This game's over.
Yeah.
They don't just doing this. We don't get somebody hurt bad. This game's over.
Yeah, you can't get this.
This game's over.
And they just tased Ryan. This ball game is over.
What was that?
They said
He just tased Ryan.
they just tased Ryan.
If you're watching on our stream, you'll see there's somebody being held back on the right side of the screen. There's a whole group of people there, and you can hear actually in the background. You're really listening to the taser.
Yes.
This game's over.
There it is.
And they just tased Ryan.
Just fell flat on his face.
This ball game is over.
Sounds like Ryan's been tased before.
Yeah, that was the
Like,
top
that's-
comments. Was somebody goes, I feel like Ryan has probably done this before.
Ryan gets
Please, this
tased.
game has got to come to an end.
These guys are great on the mic.
And they go to the graphic.
What graphic did they go to?
Just that.
Just the final score. Yep, there it is. It
They just tased Ryan.
It just feels like they prepare for the basketball game. Okay, we got the basketballs, we got the jerseys, you got the taser for
Taser.
Ryan, just in case.
we know how Ryan can get.
freaking
sometimes.
Ryan. I'm assuming Ryan's a parent.
And they just tased Ryan.
Yep. But I was listening back to it, and I was like, man, we can use 3 or 4 of those quotes for the yearly or the crap up when the Padres lose. Got to add some of those to the
This
crap.
ball game's got to get over.
That's a good one. I don't know that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, let's go.
I need that. I need that for the grap up. That's when we win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta
This
have
game's
that.
over.
This game's over.
And they just tased Ryan.
Yep. Can't use that, but I would like to. I wish we could.
Somehow you could.
That will be in the tournament of drops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just tased Ryan.
Kentucky, man.
All right, let's hold off on the Dabo Sweeney accusations of tampering against Ole Miss for the Roundel Report because I want to get right to a little doo-doo this and save some time for Craig Elston coming up. So
DD mega doo-doo.
This was unbelievable.
I could not look away. I also couldn't look at my television.
I couldn't watch.
On Saturday night when Alex Honnold scaled, free climb, Taipei 101, a 101-story building with no safety harnesses, no ropes whatsoever on Netflix, streaming live to the world, just going up the side of the building. And I mean, I was losing my balance sitting on my couch, just watching him go up and do this. Really did it quite smoothly, made it all the way up the top of the spire to the very top. His fiance was like, or his wife was sitting there just watching like on the 101st floor, waiting for him to come up.
When they kept going to her to like interview her, I'm like, leave this poor woman alone, please.
Spectacular views. Taipei, just like gorgeous with the city and the mountains, and he is up there. But it was windy. They postponed it a day because high winds and bad weather. You know, one slip,
unbelievable,
and he dies in front of the entire world, plummeting to his death. So I'm just like closing my eyes, kind of not watching this whole thing. The amazing thing is he revealed afterwards he only got paid like a couple $100,000 to do this. $500,000. Yeah.
That's it?
Seems like it should have been more for a worldwide audience. I mean, look at the wind blowing, and you've got like people inside that live in the building are like taking selfies of themselves. Like, hey, here's my guy outside the window.
Building.
You get uncomfortable when like window washers are up here on the 6th floor outside our building with the scaffolding, with safety harnesses and rigs and ropes. He just climbed 101 stories.
I had 5 people. You guys were 2 of them. I had 2 more, and then another one text me. Are you watching this? I go, no, I can't. I can't watch this. The anxiety I feel from being up high is not great, much less watching somebody that could die with the one slip of the finger
like these
or toe.
dragon, like these corners that he had to get through. Like, look at that. Just,
it was unbelievable.
I tried to watch Free Solo. I did. I tried to watch Free Solo. I had to turn it off. It's just my stomach couldn't handle it.
And you knew with that he was going to get. You knew he was going to make it because he was still alive. And this one, you have no idea how it's going to end.
I didn't watch it live. I went back and watched it later on Saturday night and had already gotten a notification. I knew he had done it, but I guess I was just wondering, like, what was the plan? Because if something catastrophic were to have happened, were we all just going to watch it on Netflix happen?
Just watch
I've got to assume there was like a 10-second delay and they could cut the feed if they had to, but wow.
Yeah, I'd say that's a do. I mean, it's a don't do this
he made
for me,
it.
but it's
Congratulations.
a do this. Congratulations.
He said probably would have done it for free. If the building had just authorized me to do it and there was no Netflix, I still would have done it. Guy loves climbing things.
He really loves to climb. Yeah, I don't know how you guys did. I don't know how you got through it.
I couldn't look away. I couldn't look away. I had to keep watching until he got to the top. Once I started, he was only about the 30th floor when I started. You go, he's going to go all the way.
Only the
up there?
30th floor. My God.
Seeing like how far he got in like the first 20 minutes, and I'm like, he still has so far to go, and yet I'm like, but look how high he is already in 20 minutes. He's just climbing right up the top.
They didn't have one of those big bags inflated at the bottom with a bullseye on it.
His buddy was just like hanging there with a camera like behind him on this like he was like on a pulley system, and
drones and cameras
pulling him up. Yeah,
it was nuts,
crazy.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you guys did it. I don't know how you watched it.
And that is don't and do this for a Monday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we'll have our friend Craig Elston join us. We'll talk more about the Padres' Darvish story and the upcoming spring training next year with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, played at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Monday morning, but I always like to point out, even at 7:34 on Monday, you're going to find a spot at 7 Mile Casino. If you need a place to unwind and relax, if you're coming off a late night shift and you're finding somewhere, hey, where's open? 7 Mile Casino is always open for people who want to play cards or just go and have a good time.
You know, we were just talking about that guy climbing that skyscraper. Now that's kind of a rush. About the highest rush that I want to feel is like doubling down with an 11, playing California style blackjack at 7 Mile Casino. That's good enough for me.
That one card's going to come out.
That one card's going to come out.
Like nervous.
Yeah, I'm nervous, and that's enough for me.
Because they might take or give you plastic chips.
Correct. But I know I'm walking out of there, and but that's enough of a rush for me. Texas Hold'em, Pai Gow, Baccarat, and of course California style blackjack is what makes 7 Mile Casino great. So it's a place where card players like to go. They take care of the high limit players there as well. And best part, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Yeah, food's great. Sammy's at 7 Miles, also open 24/7. The 24/7 players menu is a terrific option any time of the day. The patio, the view is gorgeous right out there on San Diego Bay. Check it out today. 7 Mile Casino, 7 minutes from downtown.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Saw Alden Gonzalez in ESPN.com had some predictions for what could still happen before the start of the season. Thinks that A.J. Preller's still going to do something big.
Still keep hearing the rumors
hearing
of this
that.
big move. I don't even know what it looks like at this point.
He didn't either. Is it a trade? Is it another signing?
It's got to be a trade, I think.
I mean, if Darvish really is going to retire, if that's going to happen, will they reallocate that money to a big free agent? We will talk some Padres baseball with the host of the Padres Hot Tub Podcast, Craig Elston, is standing by. We'll get to him right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
A couple of problems along northbound 805. One is a stalled car in middle lanes just before Orange Avenue. Then up ahead near Governor, reports of somebody changing a tire in the center divide. So please take it extra carefully there. Move over a lane if it's safe to do so. That's north 805 at Governor. Southbound 15, just before Friars Road, collision involving a couple vehicles. It's over to the right shoulder. Northbound 15, tow truck helping to clear crash on the westbound 78 connector ramp, and collision on East 78 on the College Boulevard off-ramp. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us right now on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline is Craig Elston. Before we do anything else, Craig, you and I were fortunate enough to spend some time with Randy Jones, especially back in the early 2000s. On almost a daily basis on our Padres pre- and post-game shows, and just thought the celebration of life really struck a really complete note of who Randy was as a person, as a baseball player, as a broadcaster, as a mentor. It just I enjoyed the ceremony quite a bit on Saturday.
I mean, what a life well lived. He did just about everything he wanted to do in his life. He got to experience the incredible highs. And then he made not only a name of him for himself in San Diego, but a reputation, a businessman, a broadcaster, a raconteur, but also just an incredible human being. It's super wild. But like the other day, I was just cleaning out my voicemails on my phone. Like, I don't know, is that something you do every once? And there was one from him like back in 23 about, hey, I can't make it to a thing, and I'm like, just listening to that old gravel voice,
yes,
one more time. I mean, Ben, you and I know we've got plenty of stories of being around Randy, but he had so much kindness to us back when you were in your late 20s. I was in my early 30s. We were doing this on Kogo, on the other radio station. He was just so incredibly cool, put us on scholarship at his barbecue. I've told the story on Hot Tub about My buddy playing a Stratomatic baseball game with his card and taking him out in the 7th, and he called him the next night. Like, you can't take me out of the game.
Yeah, not in the 7th inning.
I'm a 9-inning pitcher,
Yeah.
man. I can hit too. Don't pinch hit for me. So, I mean, just that kind of person. He was that kind of person that he was on one level, this incredible star, but on another level, somebody so grounded that anybody he met, he was friends with.
Yeah, and wasn't it the best when he would bust your chops? I mean, you almost felt like you were part of the club, if he would bust your chops. I was telling my son about it over the weekend, about how great it was when he would yell at me. Like, I loved it. I thought it was incredible. And that's how he, showed love by breaking your balls a little bit. That's what he did all the time. And, you almost felt like if he didn't get at you, he didn't like you. And I'm sure you guys have, a million memories of things like that. I imagine he busted both of your chops pretty good.
Constantly.
Yeah. Constantly. Right.
I'll just, I'll do it like this. I had, he gave me once, and it was a treasured possession. He had cards of that 1976 Sports Illustrated cover photo.
Yep.
That he would sign, because it was the most famous picture of him. And I had it on my fridge for so many years, and it said, "Hey, Craig, go pound sand up your..." Signed, Randy Jones.
Yeah, of course. Guy called me a P word more times than I care to admit, because I would lose the zone. You think you want to throw a strike, you P word? All right, Randy, I'll work on it. And I treasure those times. I absolutely treasure those times, those memories, and that man, that person. So, we've been so fortunate here to be touched by so many, Padres legends, right? Like Peter Seidler. You think about the legacy he still has, and Randy Jones' legacy will live on as well. They're going to wear the patch. I love it. We had one at fantasy camp as well, different color that I took off my jersey and keep. So it was cool. We got the Randy Jones coin, which is our way of making decisions now as a show. We'll use the coin to flip. But yeah, it was he's a sweet, sweet man, and will be dearly missed, Kreger. Let's pivot a little bit to, let's stay in the Padres vein. Right now, Alden Gonzalez, as Ben just mentioned, everyone still thinks AJ Preller is conjuring up something, and he's been lying in the weeds a little bit. Not a lot of talk about the Padres and being in on really anybody in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I always have to ask myself: is this reporting? Is this agents using AJ Preller's reputation and just kind of throwing his name out there, and then the reporters don't have anything else to say, so they say it? Or are they just making an assumption and aren't really privy to what's left in the Padres farm system, which is not a whole lot? And according, I guess, to Keith Law, Ethan Salas, who cares whether he's in the farm system anymore? Because he's dropped off the radar as a prospect.
Oh, did he? I did not see that.
He's still number 70, I think, in Keith Law's prospects, but yeah, he's the only top 100 for the Padres.
Wow.
So, the farm system's pretty bare by at least most national experts' opinions.
Well, and that reminds you of something that we as Padres fans have been, living through for the last decade, essentially, which is when you trade a prospect, sometimes they're going to be great. Sometimes they're going to be nobody. Sometimes like Owen Casey, they're going to show up in the big leagues 5 years later after the player you traded for him is all but retired. Other guys like Jacob Marcy might show up and have 1,000 OPS, and you go, "Oh my God, we missed on one." But when you trade guys on hype, when you trade guys on their prospect potential, you get value back. And all of us, and I certainly am going to hold up my hand and say there were a number of trades that involved Ethan Salas that I said, don't do that. Don't do that. Hang on to Salas, hang on to DeVries. And in reality, one of the things that can happen when you hold on to a prospect is he stops being a prospect because he turns out not to be that good. And then you missed the opportunity to move him. And in this particular case, that's what it looks like now. It's up to Ethan Salas to get to the big leagues, establish himself, and have the kind of career that he and the Padres have dreamed that he could have. But it kind of sucks that 3 years after being the number 3 prospect in all of baseball, he's sitting down in the 70s, no closer to the big leagues than he was the day he was ranked number 3.
Craig, what do you make of the Yu Darvish reporting by Kevin Acee, the response by Yu Darvish and his agent? over the weekend. Is there a concern, or is this maybe fans overblowing kind of the details of what was being reported?
Well, clearly the piece came out not in a way that Darvish and Joel Wolf, his agent, wanted, because they both responded like they were on a trampoline. Like, ba-boing, they popped up, like, hello, here we both are on a Saturday afternoon to tell you this is not exactly right. There's got to be a negotiation. You just think there has to be some sort of negotiation in terms of a buyout for you, Darvish, to give him some of that money and say, that's it for the contract. And I think that's kind of what you was saying in his statement. And he also doesn't want to completely lock the door and say, I'm gone. What if he wakes up a year from now and he feels better? But the feeling I got from reading all the different things is maybe at that point he'd want to sign a different contract. I hope this works out for San Diego. What happens, I think, in the public, guys, is we get this kind of video game mentality like, Darvish has announced that he's going to retire. So therefore, all of his money is now back in the Padre coffer. Let's go spend that money. Who can we go get? Can we go get Framber Valdez? Hang on, guys. Nothing's been signed. The money is not back in the Padres coffers. It's still assigned to Darvish. And he has every right, by the way, every right to play out the last 3 years of his contract, get paid for every dollar of it, and then retire. That's what the Padres agreed to do.
Yes,
to pay him.
Hence the contract. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I because a lot of people the last time you got hurt was like, hey, why don't you go retire and give up all your money?
Correct.
And it's completely unfair to the player to say that. And it's completely unfair as a fan to expect that. If he does it, that's his choice. And believe me when I tell you, the Padres will love it, but they can't ask him to. They cannot ask him to do that. So that is up to him. And if he does it, I would ask the Padres humbly to, yes, reinvest that money. But I don't think it's as quick as like, I said this, okay, here's Nick Martinez.
Here's Framber. He'll be ready for spring training. Yeah, exactly. We got really creative on a deal for Framber Valdez, and now he's a San Diego Padre. Again, we talked earlier in the show about there is the ability to think that obviously AJ Preller and company know more than we do and more than Kevin AC. But there is the idea of thinking, well, potentially this could come off the books if everything goes the way that they say. So let's go spend some money now, knowing that we could probably be okay getting some of it back later, hedging your bet, so to speak. God knows we all do it. We've all done it a million times. I'll buy this concert ticket for this because I know I'm getting a bonus in a month and I'll be able to cover it. That's pretty much how we all live our lives. But if your baseball team is waiting on people to retire to make free agent signings, then you're in a lot deeper trouble than maybe we all thought. But I don't think that's the case right now.
Well, first off, bonuses sound cool.
Yeah,
that sounds like a really cool thing.
Yeah.
I personally am waiting for AJ to play his AJ February game. He's going to wait for someone to fall out of the very bottom of the market and pick him up for $3 million, or wait for the next Connor Joe type.
Right.
To get scooped up and, hey, well, maybe this will work out. And at first base, maybe you can make it work out. I've mentioned Wilmer Flores before. I feel like that's a guy that you could pick up that could hit you 15, 20 homers and fit right into the National League West. And you probably get him for, $2.5, $3 million.
Platoon with Sheets or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. Step in when he's hot and play. When he's not, step back. He's one of the best pinch hitters in baseball over the last 10 years. So, that's the type of move I'm expecting. And if we sign a starter, I'm expecting a Pivetta type deal where, just like you're kind of saying, Woodsy, maybe they go, well, we think we're going to have this solved with you by the middle of the year.
Yeah.
And we're going to realize these savings in 2027. So how about we pay you more in 2027?
Right.
And then maybe the player says, well, is there going to be a season that year? Well, too bad. You're at the bottom of the market. Here's the deal. Let's figure it out. That's what I'm expecting. If they do something else, I'm going to be shocked, to be honest with you, because we know the status of the farm system. Who's out there? Who are we trading?
Right.
Craig, appreciate it. Congratulations. Soccer's got a win over the weekend. We will chat with you again next Monday.
even bigger congratulations. They finally got to fly out of Baltimore today.
Oh,
wow.
nice. Congrats.
Yeah, they got snowed in for 2 days afterwards. All right, guys, have a great week. We'll talk to you next Monday.
We'll come back. Hour number 3, we'll play a little Take on Woods, talk about the Aztecs' big win over the weekend as well. Stay tuned. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, my friends, we are halfway home on a Monday. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Hard to believe that we were off a week ago today. I mean, it's just been the longest, most disjointed week. But we're back all in studio together. You can tell my voice is still a little bit, it leaves a little for desire. You know what I mean? There's a little bit. It's not quite back yet. I'm still coughing up some of the junk, but I don't feel like I'm contagious anymore. I'm through that worst part of it. That's what you say when you come back to work when you're sick. I'm not contagious anymore. I'm good. Everybody, Frank, Braden, you guys will be fine. Doctor told me I could, and it was cleared by the company to come back. So I did, brought all the gear back today. I will say I was tempted to get up and roll out of bed and roll and do the show from my office, but I don't want to set that precedent and get too comfortable being at home. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer of the program. He has dodged all sorts of sickness the last week or so from us, your missus, everybody. You're feeling good.
I'm fine. I am good.
It's unbelievable. Nice to have youth, I bet. Ben Higgins, the chairman. Morning to you. You're 100%.
Good morning. Yeah, I feel absolutely fully recovered from my bout with intestinal disease.
13 pounds you lost. Have you put it?
Yeah,
you put back?
Put about 8 to 10 back on. It was mostly water
Jesus,
weight.
8 to 10 already?
Yeah. I haven't. It's not like I've been pigging out the last few days. I think I've rehydrated myself to the point where
you're a net 5 right now at this point,
which is good. It's a good way to start the year.
Take that.
Why? Who wouldn't take a net 5 to start the year down?
Well, I would, but if I already started the year at a minus 13, and then 4 days later I was at a minus 5.
My cells were all squeezed dry like an old sponge with nothing left in it by the time I was done with my illness. So I definitely needed to get some of that healthy hydration back into me, which I have. Quickly, before we do anything else, our thanks again to Craig Elston, just appeared on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. It is Farmers Insurance Open Week.
Yes.
At Torrey Pines. I will once again be handling the awards ceremony duties. Got that invitation over the weekend. On Sunday, crowning another champion on the 18th green at Torrey Pines. It will not be Scotty Scheffler. He is not in the tournament this week because if he was in the tournament, you could hand him the trophy now.
Right.
The guy is almost unbeatable. 4-shot win yesterday in the American Express. He is just by far the biggest golfer on the planet at this moment. And but we will see Brooks Koepka back returning to the PGA Tour. He's going to talk tomorrow, so got some interesting storylines this week at Torrey Pines.
Well, we got an interesting storyline developing in here.
We sure do.
Ben,
it is out.
It's out.
Oh, is it official? I have not gotten the email yet, but yes, it is online.
It's online.
All right, we were sworn to secrecy, which is always difficult, especially for me. I like to.
You are the worst.
I like to hint that I know things before I know things, but I did not hint at all. But the San Diego Padres have just announced their lineup for giveaways for the 2026 season, and in a radio exclusive, Ben and Woods are going to be able to share with you everything the Padres are going to be giving away here in the 2026 season, beginning on Friday, March 27th, game number 2 of the year against the Detroit Tigers with the opening series scarf presented by Sequan Casino Resort. Woods, you are already decked out in your opening series.
Looks good, too.
Scarf.
I love that.
Padres just dropped off a giant box full of giveaways that we are going to get to show you this morning. If you're not on our YouTube stream, I recommend get to the YouTube, but we can certainly describe them for everybody else who is on the radio. Now, we do not get to keep any of these. These are one-of-ones.
Allegedly.
You got to give them back.
They have accounted for them. They are tracking them. I think they've got air tags on all of them. You are not,
allegedly, we're not going to
not stealing these. They're going right back to Petco Park when we are done. The second giveaway in the second series of the season, Monday, March 30th, the 1998 belt bag presented by Quidel Ortho. It is a 1998 blue, white, orange SD interlocking logo belt bag.
Stephen Woods modeling it very, very sveltely.
In that nice size that they actually usually allow you to take it into Petco Park, don't they? Like that small bag that you're allowed to keep with you.
Yep.
First 40,000 fans are going to get that one. And then the third giveaway, the first bobblehead of the year on Thursday, April 9th. It is the Manny's Hot Corner bobblehead presented by McDonald's. Manny Machado getting ready to sling a ball over to first base with the flames rising up from the hot corner.
I kind of like the McDonald's sponsorship actually on that one. Typically, it's they're always got a sponsor with them. The McDonald's one, it looks like kind of old school almost.
Looks like just M for Manny.
Or M for Manny.
Coming up on Wednesday, April 15th, the first wearable, well, the scarf's a wearable, but something unique, something we have never seen given away before at a San Diego Padres game. It is the puffer vest presented by State Farm, a sleeveless, puffy jacket. Think Marty McFly from Back to the Future. Why is the dork wearing a life preserver?
Oh, that looks sharp.
But it looks really good.
Very
Woods
North
now
County. Very
modeling this one. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, suck it in.
Oh, that's not an extra large?
Suck it in.
Is that a medium that you
Ooh,
put
that looks
on?
good.
Actually, it looks pretty good on you.
Hell yeah.
I can see Don and Mud rocking that for sure. Jesse Agler might look good in that as well.
That is a 40,000
first 40,000 fans in attendance on Wednesday, April 15th.
Let me just tell you guys, because I'm thick. That is the size that I just put on. Is that a medium? MD? You think that's medium?
I don't know.
Because if I'm fitting in a medium these days, watch out.
I'm impressed.
Watch out.
Usually that's not where they put the size, but MD, I think you just stuck yourself into a medium.
And zipped it all the way to the top.
Ben, you try it.
He's got a big, thick sweatshirt on too, though. It's nice.
The big Channel 10 sweatshirt, the hoodie. Oh, is that going to be able to? Are you going to be able to?
Remember, don't
zip it.
Don't break it.
Fat guy in little coat. Can't get the zip.
Got it.
Got it about halfway. Can he zip it?
No. About a quarter of the way.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's a little tight.
Yeah, that looks sharp.
Yeah, with the sweatshirt on, it's a little tight.
Yeah, it is.
I can't get it off. All right, following the puffer jacket, something that the rest of the country could probably use more than us right now on Tuesday, April 28th, it is the waffle beanie presented by Motorola Razr.
I do not look good in these. I can't find a beanie.
You want to talk about North County?
Well, they don't do the ball on the top in North County. They just do the beanies at all temperatures. I don't have the poof on the top.
I remember when Peter Seidler came out wearing one of those at spring training. Those
remember they had the one you could
spring training.
Remember they had the one you could take off the poof?
The puffer at the top. That's
I like
right,
that one. So they got these.
All right, another bobblehead in May. A Padres newcomer on May 7th against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Mason Miller bobblehead presented by Cox.
This is my favorite one.
Throwing a pitch with flames coming out the back of it. I assume that's 104 mile an hour.
It says
fastball.
104 on there.
Does it say? Oh, yeah. Speed exceeds 104.
Unbelievable.
That is awesome. With
That's
the little
pretty
flame
cool.
behind the baseball.
So good.
Then not until Tuesday, May 27th against the Philadelphia Phillies do we have this, the Patriotic Aloha shirt.
26th.
Yes, May 26th against the Phillies presented by Southwest Airlines.
Look at that.
It's a Hawaiian shirt, but with a patriotic theme, red, white, and blue.
Blue Angels on there.
Blue Angels, flag.
Really cool.
And flowers to make it very Hawaiian looking. Then into June, on Tuesday, June 9th, the Bogey Goes Boom bobblehead presented by Palomar Specialty Insurance. Xander Bogaerts following through on a home run swing. He's pulling it to the left side.
That's a really
looks just like Xander.
Like him.
Even his eyes, like Xander's eyes.
I don't think I've ever seen a bobblehead that looked more like the
this
player.
is it.
I think that might be a little tiny Xander. Honestly,
That's crazy.
The earring, the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like hello, I'm Xander Bogaerts. How are you? I just dropped my
like
bat.
almost creepy. It's like one of those just like too close to reality. Like it looks exactly
it looks
like
just like it.
Oh, wow.
Monday, June 27th. For those who like a more traditional hat, the Western Snapback hat presented by Petco and kind of a I've got this one.
You're the hat model. Don't forget.
Is this the one that's finally going to fit my head properly?
Nope.
What? I think this one looks pretty good on me. Kind of got the light brown top with the brown bill and the San Diego Padres and kind of a Bell Mission sort of logo with the SD interlocking yellow inside of it.
Man, it looks
all right. On to the
great on you. So sorry.
Here, you wear it.
I'm not going to look good on me either.
All right, on to the middle of the season on Wednesday, July 8th. How about a classic? A Trevor Hoffman bobblehead presented by Cannell's.
Yeah, buddy.
Honoring the Hall of Famer with his own bobblehead. looks
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good. Just the very classic Trevor reaching back to
That
throw
looks
a
good,
change
too.
up
Good
pitch.
too. AI is
Wow.
really maybe helping. These things look so realistic.
I don't even know how they make bobbleheads, if it's like a 3D printer or
It looks
something,
amazing.
but they look incredible.
Then Sunday, July 12th, kids giveaway. It is a squeeze top water bottle on July 12th against the Blue Jays.
No
and then
gosh, no
Tuesday, July 28th against the Colorado Rockies, a Padres poncho presented by Soapy Joe's. You had the scarf earlier. Now you have the wearable blanket. Perfect if you're going out on the Western Trail or just don't like to be encumbered by sleeves. You really like
There you
your
go.
arms to be free.
Killer poncho.
It's a good-looking
Looking
poncho.
good.
Striped in brown, white,
Hey, do you like
light
the
brown, and
Padres?
yellow.
Yeah.
You like the Padres around here?
Did you catch the game last night?
Yeah, catch a game last night.
All right, back to the hats on Thursday, July 30th against the San Francisco Giants. The reversible home and away bucket hat presented by UC San Diego Health.
Benny.
We can see how many times Mark Grant can wear this in different styles. I'll put on the pinstripe version. And
not as good as the
Woods,
other
can put
bucket
on
hat that you have?
Reverse it and put on the it's not my Joe Musgrove one that I wear.
That's not the one I was talking about.
Oh, the other one, yeah. The C word one.
Yeah.
All right. And then into August on Monday, August 10th against the Milwaukee Brewers, the superhero pocket tee presented by San
one's
Diego
cool. Do we
Community
have-
Power.
Let me see if
But yeah, we do.
Yeah, I've got one right here. It's got an
This one's
SD
really
on a
cool.
little pocket on the front. And then on the back, you've got the superhero comic book style Merrill Madness El Nino graphic on the back of the jersey. So t-shirts for everybody on August 10th. Sunday, August 12th, kids giveaway, a rough plush keychain presented by Petco. Then Monday, August 24th against the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Merrill Robbery bobblehead presented by Serve Pro. Jackson Merrill going over the wall, and they do have a wall, a blue outfield wall at Petco Park. with
This is Jackson Merrill.
Jackson Merrill robbing a home run like he did last season.
Yep.
Tuesday, September 8th, final month of the season. And this one's interesting. We have it. It's the Fernando Tatis Jr. City Connect
Are we about to
bobblehead
unveil that
presented
right now?
by Big Bully Turf, except they did not paint it at all. We have
Oh no, these are our new City Connects. It's all white on white on white on white.
It's all cream colored white.
Look at that.
No, they would not give us an actual. We don't know what that's going to look like.
They
until
brought in the prototype before they painted it in the new City Connects. How cool is that?
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
So
it
it's-
just has
I
the-
want that.
I want that one. Yeah, that's the one I want. The prototype, the non-painted one.
And then finally, another kids giveaway on Sunday, September 20th, a superhero lunchbox presented by 24 Hour Fitness. But those are your lineup of Padres giveaways for the 2026 season. Any initial favorites? That puffer jacket to me is unique.
It is.
And pretty fun and wearable.
I like that.
The Mason Miller bobblehead is outstanding.
They've always done a good job over the years with the wearable giveaways.
Yeah.
I like the the hoodies, the thin light hoodies that they would give out. And I love the puffer.
Well, we have every bobblehead from the last few years, so my kids absolutely love them. I've told you they break into the little bobblehead area and drag them back to their room and stuff. So all of the bobbleheads look phenomenal, but I got to go with Mason Miller, number 22. I got to go with that one with the fireball coming
That
out of
one's
his
really
hand.
cool.
It's really sick. And then I'm excited about the Fernando one because then we'll see what the new City Connects look like. I've not gotten any sources telling me one way or the other. So I'm as excited as you guys are to see. I don't know when those will be unveiled, but I love it. I think they continue to raise the bar on giveaways. I love this poncho. I really
the poncho,
do.
I think,
Poncho's
is going
cool
to
as
be
hell, man.
surprisingly popular in San Diego.
I think it always is.
You're going to see that one all over the place later this year. Next winter, it's going to be a popular item. The waffle beanie will be a popular item next winter after they give it away in April. It's going to start getting warm just in time to have your waffle beanie. You'll have it for about a month before it's too warm to probably go with that, but then you'll have it for after the season next year.
Remember how nerdy it used to be to wear like a fanny pack, and now it's cool again. A belt bag. I've told you guys before. The older I get, the more stuff I have to carry wherever I go. And I've been on trips recently where I've just said I'm embracing it. I'm going to wear this purse around my shoulder. I'm going to full on just wear this purse My kids have mocked me. The last time I went to Disneyland, I took the purse and wore it around my, the belt. And I go, look, I got eye drops in here. I got my Zen in here. I got keys in here. I got chapstick in here. I cannot jam all this stuff in my pockets. So I'm just gonna embrace it. So the belt bag, that's also another favorite.
Let's see. I see a question. How about theme game giveaways? EC
right
Money
now.
says, and the Padres have released some of their theme game collaborations, including
got them all.
A Jeremiah Estrada lowrider bobblehead, a Don and Mud mini yacht bobblehead.
Oh my God.
And then we've got some of the favorite celebrations, including all the Heritage Nights, Mexican, Filipino, Pacific Islander, different pop culture games. We've got Hello Kitty, Harry Potter, Star Wars, NASCAR Night going to be coming to Petco Park this season as well. So yes, you will have theme game packages.
The mini yacht is incredible.
I have never seen a theme game that I was like, there's no chance I'm missing it. I'm paying the extra. I have to get the giveaway. The Dawn and Mud mini yacht night. Friday, July 31st against the Giants.
Yeah.
And it's Dawn and Mud in the mini yacht. You see the ocean waves.
Mud's not actually in the mini yacht. He's on a inner tube behind said mini yacht. And Don
is fantastic.
In his boat.
And as they will remind you many times over the course of the season, you must purchase a theme
game ticket for these
to get that one.
Who's that game against? The Giants?
The Giants in July.
That's going to be packed.
Of course, the season tickets, memberships are sold out. The wait list is available, but single game tickets for the 2026 regular home season go on sale next Tuesday, February 3rd at 10 a.m. by visiting Padres.com. Season ticket members have priority access to tickets and enjoy the best available seats. So if you have any of these games in particular that you are interested in, next Tuesday at 10 a.m. is your day to start buying the single game tickets for the 2026 season.
Good stuff, man. It's funny. I didn't used to care about this. Then I had children, and now I care about it greatly. When it was just me, I was like, I don't care about this. I want to win baseball games. Now it turns out you can do both. So good.
Oh, here's an interesting note too. Theme game fireworks 3 times. Saturdays, opening series March 28th, Star Wars weekend on May 23rd, and the end of summer spectacular on August 22nd. Post-game aerial displays free for all ticketed fans as soon as the game is over.
Very cool.
All right, that is your official unveiling.
We get to break the news
exclusively on Ben and Woods of the Padres
exclusively
promotional and theme game lineups for the 2026 season.
Thank you, Padres, for entrusting us with this valuable information and all of these valuable things. I'm so excited to lug all of these home today and keep them.
All right, when we come back to our Bill House studios, we know how. Play a little Take on Woods. Chance to qualify for the trip to Las Vegas, the Sammy Hagar tickets. If you'd like to be our contestant, call now, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. That is coming up next after a check of traffic. Don't go away. More Ben and Woods on the way on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3, The Fan. First, though, I'm here to talk about Trajan Wealth. If you follow sports, you know momentum can change fast. The same thing happens in the market. One headline, one downturn, and suddenly people are wondering if they're still on track for retirement. That uncertainty is exhausting. Trajan Wealth helps bring stability to that uncertainty. TRAJANwealth.com. Their fiduciary advisors focus on tactical investments and personalized strategies designed around your risk tolerance, not emotion, not hype. As an independent firm, Trajan Wealth isn't tied to one product or one approach. Everything is customized to you. They're local with offices in Carlsbad and Del Mar, and they understand what's at stake. If you want a steadier approach to your financial future, start here. Call 619-367-0207. That's 619-367-0207, or take a few minutes online at TRAJANwealth.com. Again, TRAJANwealth.com. Met with my advisor, David, again on Friday. We're planning out things for my retirement as well. Check it out today. It's Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
On 97.3 The Fans, brought to you by GL Pools, the company trusted by thousands of San Diegans to keep their pools sparkling, swim-ready, and expertly maintained. Call GL Pools now and say radio for a free month of service. Are you proud of me? I didn't even wink and say we might have something coming up at 8 o'clock this morning.
I was so nervous because you know, you've done that so many times, and we weren't, you know, you're not supposed to say anything, and even the hint that there is something coming is still against the rules.
It's one of your favorite things. Had we not like doubled down?
We had to double down. I still was nervous.
You would have started the show at 6 a.m. and going, and as we're setting the menu,
coming up at 8 o'clock.
Let's just say you may want to be paying attention at 8 o'clock.
Warned by multiple people not to do that. Yep. So I stayed disciplined, and it was a big surprise for everybody. But that was fun. Let's see. Before we do anything else, we'll talk about the Aztec coming up here at the bottom of the hour. We got a contestant on the line. Let's play today's game of Take on Woods. Take on Woods, brought to you by Bay Alarms, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you, music, TV, or movies. Let's go to the top of the board. Is Jimmy there?
Yeah.
Jimmy, are you here to play Take on Woods?
Absolutely.
All righty. You are a contestant today. If you can beat or tie Woods in our musical or movie or TV trivia challenge, you will qualify for the grand prize drawing trip to Las Vegas to see Sammy Hagar's residency at the Park MGM, Dolby Live. You get 2-night stay and a $100 gas card. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. Here are your category choices today. In TV, we have The Replacements, shows in which one of the main character was just replaced midstream. In music, we have Comebackers, all 2-second songs. The song title begins with the word come. And finally, in movies, we have a category called a sequel to what? I will give you the movie name. You tell me what the original movie in the series is called. And guess what? It's not so easy like Back to the Future 2 and Back to the Future 1. So, Jimmy, what would you like to play? TV, The Replacements, music, comebackers, or movies? A sequel to what?
Well, they say to be the champ, you got to beat the champ, and I'm going to take on Woods in music.
I'm
Gotta do
impressed.
it.
All right,
I like
today
it.
we have an all 2-second song category.
Hey,
Yeah.
1 second, real quick. I am in Charlotte, North Carolina now.
Are you
Formerly
cold?
in Poway. I got to go shovel my driveway.
Ooh.
Sorry. Well, I'm rooting
Hey,
for you.
I don't know if you heard the beginning of the show, Jimmy. Woods almost had to turn on the heat in his house
did.
in Encinitas.
It was very
Okay.
cold. It was almost like 44 degrees. He was dying this
Y'all keep me
morning.
connected to San Diego. I love you guys.
All right,
Thanks,
remember
Jimmy.
the rules. 2-second songs. You need to give me both the song title and
Do
the
it.
artist to score the point. Every song title begins with the word come. COME. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when Paul plays our first song. Good luck, Jimmy. Let's take on Woods.
Come on, Eileen. Dexy's Midnight Rider.
Correct. Song number 2.
Come Together, the Beatles.
Correct. Song number 3.
I know it's Duran Duran. Next song.
Song number 4.
Come Sail Away. 6.
Correct. Song number 5.
In a little cafe, just the other side.
Come on, my taint.
Go back to
Whoa,
song number 3.
Jesus.
It is Duran Duran, but what's the song title?
Come Undone.
Yes, very good. 4 out of 5. And the last one that you didn't get was very tough. It was Come a Little Bit Closer by Jay and the Americans. Let's see how Woods does. Let's bring him back in.
Good Lord.
Put Jimmy on hold. All right, we got Jimmy on hold. His score is locked in.
Ben did like 5 different hand signals.
Oh, no. I was
he
like, stop,
waving me
stop,
in.
stop. No, we're talking
Sorry.
with,
Very demonstrative
It was
today.
just an exciting game.
You,
Jimmy's
we're
a
playing
tier
music
1.
today. Yeah, he's in Charlotte. He's
in
got to
Charlotte.
shovel out all of his snow
Okay.
from his driveway today. But we're trying to make him feel better to see if he can win Take on Woods. We got a music category and all 2-second songs. That's all you get from me. Let's put 60 seconds back on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Jimmy.
Come on, Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Correct. Song number 2.
Come Together by the Beatles.
Correct. Song number 3.
Ooh, Come Undone by Duran Duran.
Correct. Song number 4.
Come Sail Away by Styx.
Oh, yes. And song number 5.
In a little cafe, just the other side.
I can't say what I'd normally say.
Jimmy
Holler
already
did.
said it.
Jimmy did.
Yes.
It's not good.
He said exactly what you
What
think
I
he might have said.
Thought he might. What I
He
have- would have
literally said it.
He said it live on the radio.
Yeah, he
Yep.
did.
Come dancing.
Come a little bit closer, you're my kind of guy.
That's Roy Orbison.
Jay and the Americans.
Yeah, close.
But you both got 4, which means congratulations, Jimmy.
The title of that.
Comebackers.
Okay.
Songs about
I got it.
with the word.
Come in it. Okay. All right.
Starting
not-
with the word
Never mind.
come. COME.
I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Very normal word. Why are you guys so skeeved out?
You know why.
Jimmy, stay on the line. You have qualified and make that snow shoveling a little bit when you can think about Las Vegas maybe at the end of the month.
Stay on the line, Jimmy. I'll get your information
All
during the
right.
break.
Tomorrow, songs that start with vulva.
All right, let's take a time out. When we come back, have not talked about the
He's
Aztecs
unbelievable.
yet.
The word orgasm is used in every one of the next songs.
It's just a
that
normal
we do.
word.
Yes. Completely.
I didn't even put "Come On, Feel the Noise" because it's spelled differently.
That's true.
In that song title.
It's true. It could have been Slade or Quiet Riot. So you know. Did you dump it or did you leave it?
I don't know.
When he said you did, okay.
All right, we will talk a little
Adam's
basketball.
last hair just fell out of his head. The last one.
Up next with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
He just, here, I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's going to hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee hurts.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Got our biggest fan contest coming up at the top of the hour. That's your opportunity to win a prize without us accidentally saying anything inappropriate on the radio, usually. Just a name and 10 minutes to call us back and qualify for a night in our Odyssey suite at a Padres game with all the fan staff later this season, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 973thefan.sd.com/biggest fan. We'll also have a Rindle report coming up in our 9 o'clock hour as well.
Also me coughing constantly in the background.
You're getting there. You're getting there. I'm sure that cough will go away in a day
or 6 weeks
or month or two.
Yeah, last time I had it last about 6 weeks. Good news is we're right back out to Arizona. 4 weeks from today will be our very first spring training show, so make sure you're by the dial.
The Aztecs played a pair of games in the desert in Phoenix and in Las Vegas this past week. Went 1-1. We'll talk about the big bounce-back win for San Diego State on Saturday afternoon, right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Just a couple things to mention here. One of them is an encampment fire near the J Street off-ramp, northbound 5. It's over to the right shoulder. Northbound side of the 805 before 43rd. Accident blocking the 2 left lanes. East 8 near El Cajon Boulevard reports of some debris in the slow lane. I'm Kelly Danick. Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Kind of one they had to have at UNLV on national television on Saturday afternoon on the big CBS, and San Diego State, after the heartbreaking loss to Grand Canyon on Wednesday, get back to UNLV and beat the Running Rebels 82-71 to remain a game ahead of the field in first place in the Mountain West. And I love to see Miles Byrd bounce back the way he did after
100%.
Probably his worst offensive game of the season. He couldn't miss on Saturday, Woods.
He said he was kind of stewing on the previous game, Benny, where he was 2 of 10, 0 for 6 on 3-pointers. He said he was kind of stewing on it, and heard from Dutch, heard from his dad, and just said, "Hey, man, slow it down. Just slow yourself down. Slow yourself down. Continue to be you, but try to get better looks." And he did. He did, and it certainly paid off for him. 23 points in that game for Miles Byrd. And, it's one of those things with Miles. You're literally capable of that every single night you're on the floor. And I think the consistency is what he's searching for as a player. And I know Dutch would love more consistency from him, but it's in him. It's in him.
Taj DeGurville and Reese Dixon Waters both had 13. Congratulations to Reese, who went over 1,000 points for his collegiate career. And overall, the Aztecs shot very well, 56.5% field goals, 8 of 13.
What is a field goal?
A field goal.
Is that like a field goal?
8 of 13.
It's very similar.
When you're on the road.
3-point range and 22 of 26 from the free throw line. But keep in mind, B.J. Davis had no points in the game. He's the leading scorer.
Right.
And it once again points out that Brian Dutcher has too many good players.
Correct.
Even without Magoon Guath, who missed his second straight game. Not everybody can have a good game for San Diego State right now. And I think psychologically that's been tough for everybody, including Miles Byrd. Now we'll see, how does B.J. Davis, who has been probably the most consistent performer and scorer all season long, now he has a game where he gets a goose egg. Can you keep your confidence going into the next game the way Miles Byrd did from one game to the next? Because when you have 10 or 11 guys playing regularly, occasionally you're just going to have a game where someone else is getting the ball more and you're not getting your shots off, and your stat line is going to look pretty anemic. And that doesn't mean you're not a good player anymore. It doesn't mean you're necessarily in a slump or you shouldn't be taking shots, but you've got to kind of reconcile that with just the fact that nobody is going to be consistently the go-to guy for the Aztecs at any point this season.
Yeah, they talked about in the UT, the absence of Magoon Guath too, and it's an important kind of topic when you're talking about a guy that has as much talent as Magoon does, but being that he hasn't really been himself all year, being that he hasn't really been healthy all year, it does make it for a coach and a team a little bit easier, right? Like, if I know I can't count on you, and I know that even when you're in there, you're, like they said, he's been stiffening up late in games. He hasn't really been himself. Makes the job for Dutcher a little bit easier. It's one less guy he's got to worry about minutes, points, love for, right? Just, this is the unit that we have. and we act accordingly. But of course, on paper, you're like, yeah, as soon as he's back and healthy, we need him back in the rotation and back in that lineup. But at what cost? What cost?
And I'm going to give Dutch credit because in the last 2 months since Thanksgiving, the Aztecs have only lost twice.
Yep.
To the number one team in the country, undefeated Arizona, and by 1 point on the road, on a bad call, on a just absolutely, teeth gnashing game against Grand Canyon. But other than that, they've taken care of business. What is so challenging is that he basically has to figure out every single night, like, all right, what's my rotation going to be tonight? Because some nights it may be the starters play more. Some nights it may be, BJ Davis and the bench has to lead more. And he essentially has to figure out every single game. All right, what team do I have tonight? Who's going to be my 2 or 3 players? Like 3 seasons ago, pretty easy. Jaden Ledee was going to be your leading scorer every single night. And you just fed the ball to Jaden Ledee, and you had the same plan virtually every game. This year, it's got to be a different plan almost every single game. Are we getting it inside? Are we shooting 3-pointers well? Because sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. And it's like, okay, we're going to spend the first half figuring out what our team looks like tonight. And then the second half, we're going to try to play all the players that are hot and, put them in some sort of rotation. Is it a small ball lineup? Are we going bigger? It changes from game to game. Now, that can give you some flexibility for sure. And you certainly can be, you can outlast some opponents who don't have the depth that you have. But it's also a challenge, I think, for a coach to have a team that changes so frequently on a night-to-night basis.
And when, it's just you're in that part of the season. It's like, all right, just stay the course. Stay the course. Keep winning those conference games. What's the next one?
They play on Wednesday at home against Colorado State, which is, I think they're in second to last. You take care of business at Viejas Arena. You've gotten through the first half of the conference season at 9-1.
Yeah, fantastic.
And then you've got Utah State, which is the only team that's ahead of you metrically right now in the Mountain West. They're 1 game behind you, but they're higher net ranking, higher Ken Palm rating than the Aztecs. So that would be a quad 1 opportunity on the road. And to me, you've got both games against Utah State in the second half of the season. If you want to guarantee yourself an at-large bid, which is going to be tough to do, sweep the 2 games against Utah State.
And then let the chips fall in May.
And then I'll feel fairly comfortable no matter what happens in the Mountain West tournament, because then you're probably going to win the Mountain West regular season title. You'll have a couple of quality wins, quad 1 wins likely against Utah State. I'll feel good about that. But they rarely win at Utah State. Very few teams do. So that next game after Wednesday on Saturday, which is, by the way, 10 a.m. Pacific, another CBS nationally televised game, very early start. Another one of those pivotal, critical games for the Aztecs coming up this week.
Yes, excellent. Stay the course, right? There's still lots of room for optimism with the San Diego State Aztecs.
Meanwhile, tough loss for our team, the UCSD Tritons here on 97.3 The Fan. They lost to UC Irvine 61-59 in front of a sellout crowd at Lion Tree Arena on Saturday night. It was a rematch of last year's Big West Championship game that the Tritons won to advance to the NCAA tournament. That drops UCSD a couple of games out of first place in the Big West. They will once again be home this Thursday night against UC Santa Barbara. And the other big college basketball story from the weekend was the return of Charles Bediako to Alabama, the guy who played in the G League for a couple of years and then
what in the world
got an injunction.
Surely he scored 50 points, right?
He got 13, but the Tide lost that game to Tennessee, even though he played. Now, remember, the Aztecs faced him. Remember when they were in the NCAA tournament, got to the Final Four. He was on that Alabama team when they beat him in the Sweet 16 and then went off to become a pro for 2 years, never made it to the NBA, and is now back, at least temporarily, in college basketball, playing for Alabama again, just illustrating the craziness that is eligibility and the rules that everyone's going through right now.
That's quite a loophole that they found and exploited. And he's not going to be the last, I would imagine.
Well, the real irony here is the judge who approved it, like gave him the restraining order, is an Alabama booster.
Nothing to see here. There's not a damn thing to
He's
see
like
here.
donated like several $100,000 to the program. Is conflict of interest at all?
This is
case?
It's unbelievable. It is, and so he goes to the G League where he's a paid professional.
Right.
Doesn't work out.
So far, has not worked out. Has not made it to the NBA.
finds that loophole, gets a judge on the payroll, judge approves it, and he's back. I'm assuming he's also getting paid by Alabama.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
Probably more than he was in the G League, to be honest.
This is like me finding a thing and be like, guys, just so you know, I'm going to go do afternoons across the street. Also, I'm not actually still going to be here, but I'm just going to work for them.
Eligibility.
I have eligibility. That's insane. This is an insane Wild West behavior in college sports right now.
Yeah, I can't really. We've never seen anything like it.
So great. It's actually like if you don't care, if you're just an observer, doesn't get much better than this.
I wonder, though. I mean, how do the other players on Alabama feel about
probably not great
pro guy just jumping in the middle of the season and, or taking away playing time from the other kids?
Yeah, taking away playing time. But are they like, all right, maybe we can win a title now? You know what I mean? Maybe we can go out and win. Like now we just got a really, really good player on our team. That's fantastic, man. Fantastic. Played overseas for multiple years. I mean, how old's this guy?
It's probably like 23 at this point, I would think.
Yeah. Came out early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that is really something else.
I think, not that I don't know that a whole lot of people are going to miss the G League, but it does feel like unless something changes,
what's the point of
the
it?
G League's going away.
Yeah. Right. There's no point.
You make more money in
Why
college
go there
basketball.
if you're good enough for the G League, you'll get paid in college.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to probably make more than the 30,000, 40,000, whatever it is that you make in the G League. It's not a lot.
It's unbelievable. Absolutely incredible.
Don't forget, all guests on Ben and Woods appear on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. And speaking of college craziness, Paulie's going to have that story about Dabo Swinney versus Ole Miss in the Reindl Report.
This is pretty nuts.
We'll also announce our biggest fan award winner when we come back. Final hour of Ben and Woods on a Monday on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Final hour of Ben and Woods on a Monday, broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. The odd start to the season for the San Diego Seals continues. They won on the road. Yeah, they are 3-0 on the road and 0-3 at home.
Back to 500.
I happened to run into Derek Togerson on Friday after the show. I went down to Torrey Pines to do a story on the upcoming Farmers Insurance Open, and he was there. And I said, yeah, is it tough doing the job? And he goes, oh, it's fun job. But yes, it would be nice if they could win a home game for me at some point.
Yes, to get one under your belt in your first season would be nice.
The Seals beat the Philadelphia Wings 9-7 on Friday night in Philly, rallying from behind. Now the Wings come to Pechanga Arena this Friday night for a return home and home. So, I mean, you just beat this team.
You'll beat them again at home.
Can you beat them at home, or will this weird season of never winning at home and winning every game on the road continue for the Seals?
It's just the weird sports are just so weird. It makes no sense at all. I feel bad. I haven't been able to get out to a game yet this year, and I don't know when I'm going to. It's crazy, crazy times, which is why I literally had to hang them up because there's so much going on with youth sports and things like that. It's just I don't know. I can't make it out Friday. I can give my tickets away. I'll probably do it on Twitter or something. Send a tier 1 that's never been to a Seals game. It's an absolute blast. They hit, they fight, they score a lot of goals, and hopefully you can get to see a win.
Before we get to our Rindle Report, let's announce today's biggest fan. Our first biggest fan of the week will have 10 minutes to call us back at 833-288-0973. Qualify for the grand prize, 20 tickets for you and your friends. Night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game this season with all the fan staff, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. And this morning's biggest fan is Liz Collins from Santee. Liz, got 10 minutes to call us at 833-288-0973. 0973 for everybody else. You can still get your name in at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. And while we wait for Liz, Paulie, time for some headlines in our Rindle Report.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Rindle Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Rindle Report with Paul Rindle.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Rindle Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Did you say 20 nights again?
20 nights. 20 tickets, one night.
20 tickets,
Again,
one night.
20 nights,
one
but
night.
only 1 ticket
Tickets.
per game.
Amazing.
You just get
Each
to go to all
friend comes
20.
in
All right,
turn
if
for
you had
20
your-
different nights.
If you had your choice, would you rather do 1 ticket in the suite for 20 nights or 1 night with 20 tickets?
One night with 20 tickets.
Yeah, you don't
get
wanna-
everyone together. Yeah, you
You don't
want
want to sit there by yourself for 20 nights. All right.
All right, before Paula gets to any headlines, let's go to line 1. Is this Liz?
Yes.
Liz,
Hi, Liz.
congratulations. You have made it very quickly and qualified for our biggest fan grand prize. Thanks for listening.
This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
You're very
Liz.
welcome.
Take care.
Congrats.
Just
All
ready
right.
to go. That might be the
Quickest one.
quickest
Yeah.
call we've gotten so far. All right, let's get started, gentlemen. We'll start in the NFL before we get to that Dabo Sweeney audio. Starting in the NFL, though, one big story we have not talked about. I think it happened early in the weekend. The Steelers have their next head coach. Was not somebody I was expecting, I'll be honest. Mike McCarthy, formerly of the Dallas Cowboys, and before that, the Green Bay Packers.
Hey,
among
thank
other
you
places.
for calling Retread World.
Yes.
This is Mike McCarthy speaking. You got
So when I saw the news, the first thing that you think of with the Steelers is the remarkable statistic that they have as a franchise of 4 coaches like ever in the last however many years. Tomlin had been there since 2007, 2008. Does anybody think Mike McCarthy's the next in line to be
20-year
the next,
guy?
15, 20 plus year
Well, if he
quarterback?
is, he'll be
or coach of
coaching
the-
into his 80s. So probably not going to do the same thing that Mike Tomlin and Bill Cowher and Chuck Noll did.
It screams like 2 years to me, but I guess we'll wait and see. Everybody immediately begins to wonder if that was the Steelers' way of trying to lure Aaron Rodgers back after an up and down season, but he did get them to the playoffs and has not announced what he's going to do next year. I believe he is a fan of Mike McCarthy. I can't imagine they would have hired him hoping to get Aaron Rodgers back, but Mike McCarthy can be in the black and gold.
Mike McCarthy's not bad, coach. 185 career wins and a Super Bowl title.
Yeah.
You could do worse.
Sure.
He seems more like a coach for a.
Isn't that what you want to say after you hire a coach? You could always do worse.
Well,
You can do worse.
It just feels like he's more of a coach for a team like is so close, like on the cusp of winning a Super Bowl, and I don't get that sense with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I get the sense that they're a team that could use a nice little reset and rebuild, maybe with a younger head coach and a new direction. So that surprised me, but I'm not going to slander Mike McCarthy too badly. I mostly blame Jerry Jones for the dysfunction in Dallas.
That's true.
Rather than Mike McCarthy, and won a Super Bowl with Green Bay. And
he did.
So I don't know. We'll see.
All
right, let's get into the Dabo Swinney audio. We couldn't find a place for it earlier. We were like wondering if we were going to do it and don't do this. We wanted to play the whole audio. It's about a minute and a half here, but fill us in on exactly what was going on here before Dabo Swinney took the podium. He is getting into a war of the words in the media with Pete Golding, the new head coach over at Ole Miss.
But remember, no one has complained more, I think, about NIL than Dabo Swinney. No one. Knowing full well Dabo was part of the
under the table, going through the back door. He was part of that era.
It's Dabo,
right?
As in Apple.
He was part of that era at Clemson, and he had a lot of success when they were going through the back door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lots of success.
This all centers around linebacker. What's his name? It is. I just had it here, and I lost it. The linebacker's name is Luke Farrelly, who was a freshman at Cal last year, and Dabo went to the trouble of luring him away from Cal to sign a big money NIL deal with Clemson during the transfer portal. And he got his name, ink on paper, got his linebacker. He's ready to go. So he was really upset to learn
not so fast
that Farrelly was still getting texts and calls from the Ole Miss coaching staff and players. And he got mad about it at the podium when he was discussing it over the weekend.
And I'm not trying to get anybody fired.
Aren't you?
I just want accountability, and there should be consequences for a total disregard for the rules. And this is such a terrible example. It's a terrible example for young coaches in this profession. And to be honest with you, this is crazy. To me, this situation is like having an affair on your honeymoon. That's basically what we're dealing with.
Wow.
Well, not really.
And I know for a fact that this is happening at other places. Because you know why? Because I've had a bunch of coaches over the last week that have reached out to me. And they're going, well, let me tell you what's happened to me. Let me tell you what I know. Let me tell you my story. I've had a lot of people reach out with their stories. And so I want to challenge all of those coaches that have reached out to me. I want to challenge all of them. You need to step up and call it out. Otherwise, don't complain. You either step up and you be an example to young coaches in this profession and be people of integrity, or just shut your mouth and don't complain again. That's what I would say to all the coaches out there.
Basically, quit calling me.
So Swinney says that after he signed Farrelly, that Pete Golding, during like an 8 a.m. class, so Farrelly enrolls at Clemson. He's starting to go to classes.
He's in class.
He's in class at 8 a.m. Gets a text from Pete Golding that says, I know you're signed, but what's the buyout? Followed by a photo of a $1 million contract offer. And then, still in the same class, he has his quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss, and former quarterback, Jackson Dart, now with the New York Giants, both give a call to Farrelly to try to convince him to abandon Clemson and get out of his deal that he just signed, hence the honeymoon comment, to renege and get back in the transfer portal and go to Ole Miss instead. Putting on the full court press to try to steal a guy who you just had stolen, remember, away from Cal. Now,
correct.
Sweeney says, no, that was in the up and up. That was
different.
He entered the transfer portal. We recruited him. He came to Clemson. I did it right. I didn't tamper
you guys
with
don't
anybody.
understand.
It's totally different.
Totally different.
But basically, Dabo Sweeney is advocating for tattletaling. He wants coaches to just continually tattle on other coaches for trying to tamper outside of the transfer portal window or try to grab a guy who's already agreed verbally or written with another school.
I mean, he's
and
in
steal them away.
class. He's in class at
he's
Clemson.
there for sure.
Yeah, like he's in school. The good news, I guess, if you're Dabo, I said that Ferrelli has no interest and he's going to stay at Clemson. So that's good.
There we go.
So the thing is, it's hard to kind of pinpoint what is and what isn't tampering these days because it's seemingly lawless right now with NIL and transfer portal, and there's an unlimited amount of times you can transfer, and apparently there's an unlimited amount of contracts you can sign. Contracts aren't really binding anymore as they used to be. So I believe that this is just the way that it is right now, and why not take a shot if you're Pete Golding? If that's a guy that you really want, why not take a shot? What does Pete Golding owe Dabo Sweeney? Because if the shoe was on the other foot, Dabo's saying he would never do something like that. I will not go after anyone that has committed or has Dabo ever flipped a committed recruit? Committed.
Right.
I commit to the University of Notre Dame. Hey, listen, I think I can get you playing time year one. This is what we can do. Blah, blah, blah. You know what? I'm going to flip. He's never flipped a commit.
Guys change their mind all the time.
He's never flipped a guy that committed to Alabama or Notre Dame or Arkansas.
I'm going to go ahead and guess he has.
My guess is that he has. Now, again, when you're talking contracts and money, then there needs to be a real ironclad way of handling this. Because, of course, if the Padres went out and signed Framber Valdez and he inked his name on the dotted line and Dave Roberts was like, hey, man, why don't you come play for us? Can you back out? Can you get out of that deal? I'd be furious at Dave Roberts, right? More furious.
This kid was in class. It'd be like if he was out at spring training, working out, stretching in the Padres right field.
Hey, man, can you get out of this deal? Can you get out of this deal?
Come on.
Can you get out of this deal? You
Come
don't
over
want to
here.
be there.
I guess the question is, how legally binding are these NIL deals? I mean, if they're truly like NIL, which is like sponsorship, if he doesn't end up going to the school, and he doesn't do any of the sponsorship, then he doesn't get any of the money. But does that mean he also then has the freedom to go somewhere else if he wants to? Until it's truly an employment contract.
Correct.
Is it even enforceable?
I know. Until it's
every week we're gonna have a new story about all this stuff
for sure.
Because the NCAA says it can't be an employment contract because that's not how NIL works. But then they've caught themselves in the problem. Like you can't enforce it. If you can't make it a real employment contract, which you'd need to collectively bargain with the players, which they don't want to do.
Correct.
And you can't enforce anything that the players do.
Even a signed contract doesn't hold a lot of weight. Right. If that player decides ultimately, I don't want to be here. I was forced under duress to sign this.
Now wait until a player signs a contract with one school, then flips and goes somewhere else, but still demands all the money he signed from the other school. So you didn't say I had to play for you.
Right.
I just signed the deal. Happy to do all your NIL for a school I don't go to anymore as long as you give me the money.
Crazy.
I'm good to go. And that will really probably put Dabo in the grave.
He does sound like a man on the edge and has since NIL started. I mean, this was really one of those things where it was like, wait.
Well, Nick Saban probably was too, and he just handled it by quitting.
He left.
He just left.
Well,
I'm not going to do it anymore.
I'm not doing this.
Who else did
I'm not going to.
Bruce Pearl.
I'm not going to. So quit
asking.
Yeah, quit asking.
At Auburn, he's like, I'm not going to deal with
this anymore. We have an even playing field now? That's it for me. I'm out.
Right.
See ya.
You mean everybody gets to do this now?
No, forget it. I'm out. I'd rather just quit.
All right. And finally, we will wrap it up. I've got a social media post that a member of a newscaster probably wishes they could take back. Going to, where was this from? Oklahoma City. Woman by the name of Lacey Swope. She is a meteorologist for News 9 in Oklahoma City, the Oklahoma region. Definitely one of those areas impacted by the snowstorm over the last few days. And on Saturday, now this is something that the news people, Ben, they love to do, right? Send us your pictures.
Oh, yeah.
You see it every morning.
We
You
have
turn
10
on the
news
news.
weather watchers, we call them.
Send
and
us the sunrise or the sunset, and then they'll show all of them on the news. So on Saturday, she posted on her Facebook page and asked people to send us your measurements and locations, please.
Your measurements.
Now, of course, what she wanted was how much snow is in your backyard.
Obviously.
Stick a ruler into the snow and let us know how much snow you got. The comments did not disappoint.
Or did they?
Well, those are probably the DMs that just really disappointed. The comments were actually quite funny. One woman wrote, "Every man in this comment section is lying."
8 inches here.
One man said, "It's a little cold right now. I don't feel like participating."
Fair.
And then she had to edit and say, "Thank you for all of your body measurements. Super helpful for my search. Just to clarify, I was looking for a measurement in inches of the depth of snow in your yard."
Seems like a nice girl. I'm watching her right now.
Some woman says 36, 24, 36. Oh, wait, you meant the snow.
The snow.
She had to, she took to the air later that night.
We've seen so far. Now, some of this is radar estimates, and then just your reports that you've been sending in. Keep those coming. I made the mistake on Facebook. I asked for your measurements. I meant your snow measurements. Thank you for everybody sending in your measurements.
Yeah.
Pass on that. Why do local news stations, Ben, like to put its citizens to work for them?
Anytime you can get someone else to do your job for free, it's always a win.
All right. If anybody wants to DM me some segment ideas for tomorrow, Padres aren't really doing much. It's looking a little light. I do laugh. I always laugh at
send Woods your hot takes.
Yes, please. I may read them on the air. How much I love hot takes. I do laugh when our sales staff, we do that. There's a back and forth between the on air and the sales staff, right? And they'll, one guy called me and said, "Hey, who's the marketing person over at Company X?" And I go, "I have no idea. What should I do tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. live on the radio?" Isn't that for you to know? Right? That's kind of like doing the legwork on that is your responsibility.
Right.
I don't come to you guys for segment ideas. Right?
When you go to your doctor, they will tell you hey, we're going to need to do this surgery.
Right.
You're not suggesting the different procedures that can, take place.
What do you think I should
Leave
do?
it to the experts.
Well, yes, it looks like your ankle is swollen. What should I do? I have no idea. That's why I came to you. Purple says I would hate getting segment ideas. Yeah, you're right. I've gotten some over the years. We've used plenty of tier 1 submissions, but that is a real local news bit.
You'd be surprised though over the years how many
oh God, yeah.
How many
suggestions?
Less than quality ideas we get, and it's always, "Hey, this will be great for ratings."
That's my favorite. Hey, this will be Woods. This will be great for ratings.
Oh.
All right.
Well, in that case,
I don't want to sound like a jerk here, but what do you know about ratings at all? Right? What do you know about what's good for ratings and what's not? But listen, makes me sound like a jerk when I say it.
Paulie, thank you very much. That was the Reindl Report for a Monday. All right, we'll come back. We can talk a little more Padres baseball if you missed it. In our first hour, we discussed the Darvish story, give you an update there as well after a check of traffic with more Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open. Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Let's imagine a world in which Yu Darvish is going to retire.
Okay.
It's not hard to imagine. It's not official yet, but after the reporting over the weekend, it does seem like it's still trending that way. It may not happen in the coming weeks or months, but at some point, sounds like Yu Darvish is going to hang it up, and the Padres will probably see some sort of financial savings, according to even Yu Darvish's statement himself.
Yes.
said that he's leaning in that direction. Let's just thank you, Darvish, again for, I think, a pretty spectacular baseball career and some great moments in a San Diego Padres uniform. And if he does end up walking away from a good chunk of the rest of his contract, was not a bad deal at all for the San Diego Padres in hindsight to keep you Darvish around, for what he's been able to do for the Padres. No?
I don't know that I agree with that.
You don't?
Per se. When was he re-upped for this latest long-term deal?
Was it 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah, but anytime you have a contract, though, with 3 years and $43 million left, and you don't know that it's going to be...
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't go away, then obviously it's been a long...
That's tough.
It's a long contract to pay out.
So you're basically saying it's a good contract if you get him to leave and give you money back.
That's true.
It's one way to look at it.
It is true.
Certainly.
It is true.
It was.
It makes a huge difference in how that contract impacts the San Diego Padres going forward.
Yeah, I agree with this sentiment from our pals at the DSG, right? To use a great guy, that's a bad deal. I thought it was a, and again, I know they wanted to resign him and he wanted to resign. And he did make it so that he was able to structure it in a way to not cripple the team, and all that's certainly appreciated.
Pitched really well in the 2024 postseason. Obviously, gave the Padres a chance to beat the Dodgers there in Game 5 of the NLDS.
Yeah,
had some really great moments with the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you remember when he was out last year. Was it last year when he took the personal time, or the year before?
That was the year before.
The year before, he took the personal time and said, "No, this is a personal matter. I'm not taking your money." And they offered it to him. They said, "No, you're Darvish. You can go away and we'll pay you and come back when you're ready." He's like, "No, absolutely not." So he's always done the right thing, but it's got to be the right thing for him. I've been on record since the very beginning saying he's entitled to every bit of that, every cent of that $43 million. So that's not what it's about. But whatever happens. I will reiterate the point earlier. If we're waiting for Darvish to retire to be able to sign some players, we're in deeper financial trouble than we thought.
Remember when you first arrived, they also brought Victor Caratini with them. Remember, he was the personal catcher, right?
I do. I remember Victor.
Darvish.
Yeah.
Victor Caratini, also one of the guys that was out there recently as a potential backup catching option, but he signed over the weekend with the Minnesota Twins. As did former Padre Taylor Rogers as well to join the Minnesota bullpen. Padres still need to address catching depth, I think, before spring training really starts. That is one area where you can't simply go into the year. We've talked about this before with just Freddie Fermin, Luis Camposano, and Blake Hunt as your only catching options. They need a veteran catching option. Victor Caratini off the board. The Twins were willing to go 2 years with Victor Caratini, so maybe that was the difference maker for Victor in Minnesota. But, Elias Diaz is still out there if you're interested in a potential return for him. We mentioned the name Christian Vasquez out there as a potential guy that the Padres have shown interest in the past.
For the last 7 years, I feel like, since we've been a show.
Someone needs to be signed because you don't feel like the Padres have enough that they can count on.
Yeah, and I feel like they will. I feel like there's going to be names that are still out there and around and are looking for, one last chance. The old Jake Taylor, one more day in the sun for sure. And, they need depth. They need depth throughout the organization. But I did, what did you guys think of the Jose Ramirez extension that came down over the weekend? I personally loved it. Jose is a guy that the interesting part, though, and people were talking about him. They said, he was almost shipped out the door to San Diego in 2022. I mean, it sounds like if you reread those tea leaves, that all that package for Juan Soto very well could have been for Jose Ramirez. Very well. The Gore, the Abrams, that could have been for Jose Ramirez. And of course, you let yourself think and wonder on, what would it have looked like with Jose Ramirez here instead of Juan Soto?
Well, you probably make that move hoping he's going to be the third baseman of the future with Manny going into his opt-out, right?
Yes, potentially.
Manny was coming into year 5 at that point.
That essentially, if you make that trade, Manny is out
gone.
the door. Or Jose plays another position, which I know that he could.
Sure.
You could put Jose Ramirez at second base. We've been looking for second baseman and, maybe try to move him to shortstop. Why not? We've done it with everyone else. I don't know, man. Having Jose Ramirez here would have been pretty sick. But
he's
see,
already 33, right?
For me, not at the expense of Manny. And I know there's people out there that say I'd rather have him, like our Purple, who's really sticking to his bit already, his anti-Manny bias. I think not at the expense of Manny Machado. But, I mean, you saw how it worked with Devers and Alex Bregman. We could have had the same type of situation here. It's an instant opt-out for Manny if that's the case.
They're adding just the 4 years at the end of the deal. So that is his 36, 7, 8, and 9 aged seasons.
Why do I still think he's going to hit 320 with 30 bombs and 112 RBI every single year?
And ultimately, I think he's giving them some relief early.
Yeah.
So that he gets the comfort of knowing that he's got a no trade. He's around forever.
Yep.
And he just seems to like Cleveland.
He loves Cleveland.
He likes that team, the organization. He just wants to stay there. And I think he's probably happy. So.
I do like it. I got to say, I still like it when stars stay with the teams.
I do too. Even at the, sorry to the other players, but even at the expense of the other players that are, man, you got to do this for all the guys coming up in free agency. I understand that.
Jackson Merrill's in that conversation.
I'll tell you, I don't like when morning radio show hosts sign for a pittance. You know what I mean? Right. I think that does a disservice to all of us. But I do understand I'm healthy and I'm happy and I want to be here and I'm willing to actually give them a little bit of relief to stay in a place that I want to be in. I'm okay with it.
But you don't feel like they have to take the Tony Gwynn hometown discount.
I don't
as well.
I don't. Not all the time. So, but this one I thought, man, it just makes sense, dude. It just makes sense. He stays in Cleveland.
And then one move that didn't make a ton of sense this weekend, the White Sox agreed to a 2-year, $20 million contract with reliever Sir Anthony Dominguez, formerly of
2 years, 20
Phillies, and then 220. Yeah. Now, is he simply a trade chip for when the White Sox are not good and other teams are looking for bullpen help at the trade deadline? And they think, hey, that's a not unreasonable deal for a guy who's pitched in the postseason.
They have a full 40-man. They have to make a move to make that deal official. He's missed some time. He's been injured.
Walks a lot of guys, which is a concern.
If you're the Chicago White Sox, is spending $20 million on a pretty good setup, man, the smartest use of your money? I don't know.
You have the money. You're in Chicago.
You do have some money because
most of your other players are gone.
You've subtracted some money too. Now they're like, is this that thing where they're like, hey, we got to do something. Like, let's sign somebody because we've got extra money to spend. They're going to get mad at us if we don't. But is the
He's
setup,
just throwing
man,
Will Venable a bone, going,
here you go.
Who am I going to put in late in the game?
You wanted it. You got him. Sir Anthony Dominguez is your setup guy.
How many leads will they have to protect in the 8th inning
Just
this
don't know,
season?
man.
Who even knows? My guess is he will at some point be a trade chip for the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah. If he pitches well. Got
to be tough for, going into a year, though, feeling like, oh, we don't have much of a chance this year.
Yeah.
To start with new contract signing with a new team like that. I mean, even if you sign with the A's, you go, all right, team on the rise.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got some hope for the future. It's tough to see that at the moment with the Chicago White Sox.
It is.
All right, we'll take a final timeout. We'll come back. We haven't talked about Woods' Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Had some news involving the college football playoff.
Please,
over
God,
the weekend.
Make me as irrelevant as the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Holy cow, it's all I saw. Everyone talking about their irrelevancy, and it's all I saw on my feed. Now, I know my feed is curated a little bit, but holy smokes, the talk of the town, Benjamin.
That's coming up next. Final segment of Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please
Just a
don't.
little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
First, I just saw
It's not fair.
the cheapest ticket available for the Super Bowl right now at TickPick, $5,757.
The lowest, cheapest ticket.
The get-in price,
$5,000.
on the
Where is it?
resale
It's
market.
in Santa Clara.
Levi Stadium.
Levi Stadium.
That'd be nice.
Who are all these people that have the wherewithal to spend, I don't know, $11,000 on 2 tickets to the Super Bowl?
People that bought Bitcoin when we made fun of it 8 years ago.
Apparently.
Crypto bros, right?
I don't think I could ever spend that much to attend any sort of event.
Think about it, though.
Knowing that it's then gone.
How much?
You go for 3 hours. $5,757. All
right.
Presumably for a nosebleed seat.
I've spent close to that price, but it was all inclusive of tickets, hotel, and there were 2 of us. That was it's roughly what I spent for the U2 Sphere experience. And I would have spent double based on the time that I had. But I also got a badass suite at the what's that? The Venetian.
Yeah.
You know, Hotel Hannah was there, so you know it paid off. And then 2 floor seats to the Sphere to see one of my favorite bands of all time. Literally would have paid double. It was the time of our lives. So that's just the Super Bowl nosebleed for one.
Right.
And you get nothing else.
And generally, I don't know, I feel like the Super Bowl experience, most of it is watching it on television. You have
100%.
commercials, get a good view of the halftime show and everything. I mean, you got to be a diehard Patriots or Seahawks fan. And it's not like either of these teams haven't been there for a generation or anything.
Sure.
Most of their fans have probably seen them in the Super Bowl.
Crazy
in
prices,
recent
man.
years. That's pretty crazy. All guests on Ben and Woods appear on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Yes, the powers that be in college football have adjusted the system so that they won't make the same mistakes they did going into this previous postseason. We'll talk about that after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Couple of problems on southbound 805. One is a stalled vehicle right at the West 8 connector. This vehicle appears to be leaking fuel. Further south in the 805, right before 43rd, reports of a possible brush or encampment fire over the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Now, your tease already was disingenuous. You said the powers that be have adjusted it so that they won't make the same mistakes that they did this past.
Correct.
That was, if you're talking about Notre Dame's exemption, that's already been in place. This is not this got
I'm
screwed
actually
up.
talking more about the all four power conference champions getting in.
Yes.
As opposed to two group of now 6 conference champions, because Duke was such a low-ranked conference champion. They didn't get in, but that allowed James Madison and Tulane to both sneak into the field of 12. Right. And I don't think that made people from the power conferences all that happy. They set up a system where one and one only smaller school gets into their playoff every year. Yeah. They weren't too happy about having to open the doors for a second. So they announced that, yes, the best four, the 4 Power 4 conference champions, the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12 champs all get in, no matter what. They could be unranked completely if they win the conference championship game.
So Duke.
They will get in. So Duke would have been in
7-5
in the postseason, and I believe, Tulane would have been out of the postseason. They also announced that Notre Dame, if they finish in the top 12, will automatically get in, and that would have kept Miami out of the playoff this year.
But it wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. Because
if the rankings ended exactly the same.
But it wouldn't.
They could have made adjustments if they want.
That's the ultimate thing that people are forgetting. Number one, the top 12 team should make it into a 12-team playoff. Yes, we are all in agreement. If you're a top 12 team, you should make it in.
But how do you account for conference champions that aren't in the top 12?
Like
Duke.
But by the new law, they're in.
But they're not in the top 12
They're
team.
not in the top 12, but they won their conference.
They won their conference.
They're in.
So you're always going to have teams that are outside the top 12 getting into the 12-team playoff.
Of course. But a conference championship, literally, so the Irish aren't going to have to play a conference championship because they're not in a conference,
correct?
Right? But 3 of the 4 teams didn't play in one this year either. And Ohio State, who won it in 24, did not play in a conference championship either. So I think if you're a Notre Dame fan, like I am, I don't feel that it's like special treatment. I feel like this: you better win almost all your games. You better go 11-1. You better, or 12-0 is preferable. And if you have a 12-0 Irish team, they should be in the playoffs, right? If you're of an 11-1 team, okay, yeah. But what they'll do, if they don't think Notre Dame's deserving, they'll just move them to 13, and then they're out. Yeah, they have that power.
It's not like it's a vote of the writers and you just are where you are. It's a committee that operates mostly in secret.
And mostly...
So they can do whatever they want in terms of whether they think a team is deserving.
And we saw that this year with Alabama.
If they think Notre Dame is deserving, they will be in the top 12.
Correct.
If they think Notre Dame is not deserving, they will be 13.
That's right. And
they can decide that as they see fit. So I agree with you. It's not that big of a deal. I think Notre Dame should have been in the playoff
100%.
This last year.
100%. So did Nick Saban.
They were clearly, I think, one of the most competitive teams at the end of the season. Now, you could have expanded to 16. They decided not to do that. They could announce, I think, at the end of the year that they may still expand for the following season. But this year, 2026 will be played under the 12-team rules. One group of 6 conference, which will include the new Pac-12. One champion will make it to the playoff, but not two of them, because only the top four of the power conference schools champions will definitely get into the postseason.
Yeah, it's interesting. And like I saw a lot of this sentiment, and it's true. And if being independent is such an advantage, it's such an advantage. Remember, you get to keep all the money. If it's such an advantage, then why don't more teams try it? Remember, all this, you get such special treatment when you're an independent. Then more teams should go, you know what? I don't want to be beholden to this conference. I'm out.
I think
I'm going to do it on my own.
I think for me, it just kind of fluctuates randomly. Some years Notre Dame will play an incredibly hard independent schedule.
Because
in other years, they don't play a very good schedule at all, and it's very hard to judge
this next one
how good of a team they are, because they don't have to play a conference schedule in which you're just mandated. Okay, well, you're definitely playing this team, this team, this team, and this team.
They kind of do with their ACC schedule, which, by the way, they do not pick. It's picked for them. They kind of have to play those. They have to play those.
The ACC, of course, is the worst of the four power conferences.
Of course.
Now, it's not their fault. I'm not saying
that's the same conference.
I don't think they're trying to set up an easy schedule.
I don't either.
But some years, your rivalry games are just not that. Some years USC isn't that good. That's not even a good game.
When you plan them,
years.
When you plan them 6 to 7 years in advance, right?
You can't ever know.
There's no way to know.
You can never know.
You book a Clemson, you're like, oh hell yeah, we got a home and home with Clemson. And they're like, oh, Clemson's terrible. Sucks. Like, that's the risk you run being an independent. Like, but the ones that they've scheduled recently, home and home with Alabama, they got Texas. Like, and then they lost USC. What did they do? They added BYU.
Yeah, I think for me,
they're not scheduling Austin.
I'm not a Notre Dame hater, but you're just then oftentimes relying so much on the eye test.
Correct.
When you don't have a conference, you don't have a conference championship, you can't really judge them in the standings against another team.
Of your conference.
They're the one team that is basically, do I think they're good or not?
Yes,
because they're probably going 11-1 or 10-2 next season with their regular season schedule. You can already look at it and go, I'd be shocked if Notre Dame didn't win 10 games. But is it good enough to be a top 12 team? I probably won't know unless they just obliterate everybody, or they're basically just scraping by and barely winning these games. You're going to go at the end of the season, and they're probably going to be ranked right around 10th to 14th, and we're going to be going,
here we go again.
I don't know. And should they be in or not? I don't know. Based on the schedule, based on how they played, you just have trouble comparing Notre Dame to other teams.
But the thing is, too, think about this with everyone's beloved SEC and the gauntlet supposed gauntlet that they face. It's not. I mean, they get propped up with crap wins against subpar teams because they have SEC in their.
I think it would be better if college football, it was handled like the NFL, and there was like a scheduler, and they just announced here is your schedule for this season. And they tried to make it kind of balanced in terms of difficulty for every team. Like, you playing some tough games, you playing some easier games, but it's not up to the athletic directors and the coaches to set their own schedule. The schedule is what the schedule lands. But in college football, that's not it. You get to pick your non-conference opponents. And if you're Notre Dame, you can pick all your opponents all year long. And that's
except for your 5 ACC.
Yeah, but that's a huge part of whether you're successful or not. Imagine if an NFL team got to just schedule all their opponents. Well, you'd end up with the New England Patriots season this year.
Correct.
Getting to the Super Bowl by scheduling a bunch of easy opponents all year long.
Yeah, but
you tell us we're not good. I don't know.
If you're a Notre Dame fan like I am, you have to go into the next season. Marcus Freeman's motto is going into it is leave no doubt this time. Leave no doubt. He thought he did by beating after his 2 losses.
12-0 pretty much leaves no doubt.
That leaves no doubt. And that's really the best. It's the only way to do it.
That's really, really tough to do for anybody. Even if you're not playing the toughest, everyone has an off day somewhere.
Correct. Hey, man.
Hard to leave no doubt.
The Irish went to the national championship game in a season when they lost to Northern Illinois at home. So anything's possible. But yeah, leaving no doubt is really the only way to do it. So pressure's on. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait. Already can't wait for it.
Fun show today.
Yeah,
we got to debut all the new Padres promotional giveaways. I believe Braden is going to recap those as well. If you didn't get to see them earlier, we will be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for 4 more hours from the Bill House Studios. We know how. For Paul Reindl, Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Monday from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.